Oh, God. Hang on. Hmm. Oh, weird. It is working. Oh, if everyone can hear me, good thing. Let's go and promote myself, shall we? Huh. I think Kev has just finished. Gave up on Bosch, I guess. Oh, I'll bring up my Twitch. My YouTube, even. Because he can't read out on Twitch. Who can? Where are we? There's my YouTube. There's my YouTube. I'll get back to you later, my lovely Daniel. There we go. Let's hear from Madwoman. There we go. Do we think Kev would mind if I borrow shit from his Discord? I'm not entirely sure. Fuck it, I'll DM him and say, I'm knitting this shit. I didn't actually know it was happening. Super probably told me because he fucking saw it. I am an evolution. Yes, Tess. Free Kevin. Where is he? Where's my lovely Kev? Oh, it is indeed. John, Christ, is there an echo? I think my speakers on my laptop are working. Right, give me a minute. That would be odd. I have got my actual speakers disabled on the laptop, so I don't know why there's an echo. Laugh mic. I'm giving it a try. I got a discount from Bezos' platform. There is something on Kev's Discord that I noticed. ITZDRK, or it's dark, I'll pronounce, posted something that is from here, from my very fair city. Well, fair city is actually my hometown, Perth, but from here, the best capital in the world, Glasgow. The best large city, not capital. Sorry, should be the capital. Fantastic. Another echo. What did I know? Oh, you idiot. Huh. I'm not understanding why there's an echo. I just turned the volume down on my actual phone, so it's not coming from that. My other main speaker, which is sitting right here, is no longer plugged in. It's just sitting there, taunting me, really. Hmm. Interesting. I could just change over and make these the speaker as well, and I think the echo will vanish. Say bye-bye to the lav mic. The two sets, so I got two of them, plus the charger unit. £15. Mighty Mouse is Hi, Mighty Mouse. I demand yous all go and follow my slander on Twitch or Mighty Mouse on YouTube. He is a comrade. Hi, Mighty Mouse. Hello, my Welsh comrade. Look at that. How goes it? I probably butchered that. Sorry, Welsh speakers. I'll change back over to these being the input and output. Give me a minute. Sound. Yes. Yeah. Oh, I will rename. Big headset. Rename. Rename. There we go. Big headset. Is that better? Oh, that's weird. I've literally turned the volume down on the actual speakers and I'm still hearing myself. Odd. Okay. Here's the actual speakers. Where be they? Huh. What's that? Fantastic. That's weird. I'm still hearing myself. I'll take that out. Hoi hoi. Are they on as well? No, they're not on. Weird. It's not too annoying, is it? Oh, you're on here as well. Oh, I've not got the chat up. Yeah, I don't get that. I've got my input and output just on these now. I don't know what I've done. Again, rejoice. A leftist that doesn't know audio. Or is useless at controlling it. Oh, fucking hell. Let's see. That's not adult. Blue. That's weird. I don't get it. Yeah, you're off. Excuse me. I don't. It does, doesn't it? I'm not in a fishbowl. I'm in a one bedroom flat. Must admit, rather tall windows. I'll give you that one. Odd. Look at that. Cool. I will check to see if Kev got that. Don't switch. Hang on. Da, da, da. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. Huh, that really is quite weird. Did they get back to me? No. Sorry, Kev. I'll bring it up anyway. Where is it? Is it in general? Hello, Snick. General. Oh, that's just something we don't need to see. Oh no. That's from Reddit. Look, where are we? There it is. Open in browser. Edit. Okay. I will show this. This is what I was looking for in Kev's Discord. This is Sucky Hall Street. This is Buchanan Galleries here. This is a shopping centre in Glasgow City Centre. It's near the top half of the city. If you were to come towards me, away from my laptop, you'd be going up towards the bus station. So that's Buchanan. So there's Buchanan Street that goes all the way down. That is, where are we? This is the Fash. These are the right-wing Egypts. That is the leftists, or the decent people of Glasgow. There is more of us than there is of them. That is, well, you can tell, obviously, by what they're wearing. These are shops going down here. If you go along that street, along there, you get to go to a really cool pub that I frequent. So, wow, I am proud of my city. I really am. That fucking rules. I will ask him on a stream at some point. I assume you'll go what? Well, technically today it is Sunday. Yes, Jim. Rejoice comrades. Jim Speaker's here. Hi, Jim. Glasgow. Rightoid nutters. Or rightoid Egypt, really. The people of Glasgow. Polis. Yeah, great stuff. And as you can tell, there we go. It's called the Butcher's Apron up here for a reason, but that is the Union flag. That is our flag. Saltire. Stop fucking using it, you right-wing bastards. So, if I could, I would take all those saltires off of them because that doesn't represent me. That is my flag. Leave it the fuck alone. Oh, I was worried there. I saw the red and the yellow and thought that was the banner. The one that's yellow with the lion on it, the lion rampant, that's the banner for Scotland. Technically, King Charles owns that. That's his flag, and you're not allowed to display it without his permission. People still do it. You see the banner in people's windows. You're not allowed to fly it. So say I had a flagpole on top of the close that I live in, I wouldn't be the one putting it up. we're not allowed to do that because that flag belongs to him. This flag here, the saltire, belongs to all of us here in Scotland. This is ours. That's why seeing it next to this fucking flag pisses me off. Because of independence, I want an independent Scotland. Oh, the lighter blue is the correct blue. This darker blue is probably a cheaper version that the dude bought. Because that isn't the proper colour for the saltire. It is a lighter blue like this. Hang on, I've noticed. Ah, there it's there. That's the banner. Technically, they're not meant to be using that, but what the police should be doing is taking that flag away because it's not allowed to be used without given permission. It is weird seeing this in Glasgow. It's like seeing the line of fucking saltires on the lampposts outside my flat. Literally all the way from Maryhill Road, which is to the west of me, in that direction, all the way up to where I live, which is about 3 miles. Every lamppost, and I mean every lamppost, of saltires. No one, people have speculated, but no one knows for certain why all these saltires got put up on lampposts. I quite like seeing it. So obviously this flag means a lot to the people of Scotland for many different reasons. I don't want these right-wing bastards having use of it. But again, freedom of speech, blah blah blah. I just don't like them using this flag because it's my flag. Is that a trade union one there actually? It is a trade union flag. Hang on. I can see a couple of trade union banners here or placards. I like that. This is where I say I recognise person, but you can't really make out people properly. It's good seeing that amount. I do like it. Thank you, Glasgow, for representing me, because I can't even really get this. Just so many of them. Right. There was comments. Give me a minute. Move over. Okay. Get rid of screen capture. Yep. Add it back so you can pick up these comments. Add screen capture. That's the Discord link. There we go. Done. Whoa. Oh. There we go. Bash. Get wrecked. Thank you. Oh. If you want, hang on, let's see, I can't remember what channel it would be. Give me a minute. Pix scenery? Clips, oh, perfect. If you've got that, if you can find an image of that flag, specs, whack it in clips, history, and randomness, so I can see the flag. Yeah, where is she? Yeah. Yeah, our favourite lesbian has a Discord. I'm in it. I don't actually check it that much. I really should, because I'm naughty. I have a Discord. It is called Naughty Women, because Naughty Women. Don't worry, that's not so good at self-deprecation. Oh, yeah, back up, back up, back up, back up. Where are we? Oh, look, a Goomba. He is neither Scottish ancestry or UK. He is an American. I don't know why we'd be upset, really. Thank you, Vogel, for posting the satire. Love it. Oh no, I did like it. Thank you, Davy B. Us Scotch will keep these fascist cunts at bay. It is, yeah. It's to just it be basically for a Protestant church. It's a kirk, so there's a kirk up in Perth where my cousin has been married 3 times now. Same cousin. Antifa fueled by Iron Brew, a match made in heaven. Thank you, Vogel. Can he beat it? Thank you, Davy B. That's the person that Kev was online on stream with for the Arsenal match on Sunday a week ago. Hell yeah, Glasgow. Thank you, Davy. Davy is from Motherwell, so he lives in Motherwell, which is to the south of me. It's just outside Glasgow. Oh, I wish I knew I would have been there. I find out when Super Happy came back home. It's dark. Funnel day, cabaret against tea is the best thing, Scotchisms, Scotswood. We have saw some folk who were obviously seeing Tom do their thing for the first time today, and they were a picture of joy. So there we go. Cabaret against hate speech. That's from Minster. Okay. Oh, I didn't like that. There you go, Davy. The grunts had a Charlie Cock banner and went full meltdown if anyone was laughing. Pointing guy looks like a Goomba from the Mario movie. That's the one with um John Leguizamo and Doug. I can see him. Sure. He usually plays gangsters. Fuck. It's the one from the 90s. If anyone can put me out my misery, please post it in chat. Thank you, Michael. I might get pushed back on this, but fuck me, Kirk is doing my head in more dead than alive. Bob Hoskins, naughty Katie. Thank you, Scribby. Rejoice, comrades. Our resident philosopher is here. Hi, Scribby. Oh, by the way, Kev's got a 7-day ban from Twitch, so he'll only be on YouTube for the next week or so. He's putting up an appeal. So we'll find out. I went to cinema to see that film, showing my age. Oh God! Yeah, I remember that as well. Yeah. No, I think there's a lot of paint watchers who watch either Kev or President Sunday, and they've taken it out of context. If they were there for the full thing and just done it out of spite, we think it's something like that that's happened, or Twitch has just said, no, nuked him from space, essentially for a week. Well, not nuked him from space, just bombed him a bit. I've been banned on Twitch because people took objection to me to calling anti-vaxxers dangerous bastards, putting other populations at risk. That was last year. I got banned for a month before affiliate. Before affiliate. And I got kicked for a month for calling these people dangerous bastards, which they are. I was telling the truth, and I got banned for it for a month. I don't care. They are dangerous bastards, and I'll call them out for it. Bet these villains didn't know who he was till he died. Now he's their martyr. Thank you, Michael. Oh, what's you say now? Oh, for fuck's sake. Right, there we go. I'll go into my actual Discord now. I don't know if there's anything in here. Give me a minute. I will check. Oh my god. Hello, Lilith. Wave to Lilith. Ryalan. Thank you, Ryalan. Oh, hello, Escape. I've already done that. Oh, hi Ben. I've been. Oh, that's a resignation letter. Yeah, I've talked about that. Da, 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 da. Glasgow. Oh, John, I forgot you found that for me. England is the Florida of the UK. No further questions. Love it. Oh no, I already liked it. Oh yeah, I've already talked about that. Oh, me being silly. I know lots of good English people, yourself included, and Jim as well, and Scribby. And we've also got Flo Snake. There are people in England who are Bellings, obviously. We know this. We've also got these people. Oh, James Holmes. Oh, James Holmes. Oh, the coalition government sings. Fuck it. Fuck it. I'm game. Thanks, Ben. I forgot about this. Change over. Change over. Do this way then. Right, fine. Fuck it. Right. Screen capture. Add source. Add source. Thank you, Ben. Oh, I will increase that so everyone can see them. Huh. Can I make that bigger? Am I going to have to? Oh, God. Ah. Oh, God. Right. Here we go. Can everyone make most of that out? You might see me having to expand it so I can read part of it. So I do apologise. Okay. Cutting grants. So this is what the coalition government from 2010 to 2015 done, and never forget it, especially if you're going to be voting at some point next year. I will be voting next year because Holyrood elections. Welsh people will be voting for their devolved administration in the Senate, and obviously local elections, lots of Labour councils and unity, sorry, blah 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 blah. So this, these are the sins, these are the things that they done while they allowed to happen or actively participated in voting for. So remember that, Lib Dem are bastards. Cutting grants to government by 55%. Cutting Home Office funding by 25%. Cutting justice funding by nearly 50%. So cutting it in half. Benefits cap got mitigated up here by Holyrood. Everywhere else had to suffer it. I don't know if the Senate helped with that at all, but it got mitigated up here for us. So did the bedroom tax, which basically was a tax. You got your benefits cut if you had superfluous rooms. So your council tax benefit got cut. Delightful. Freezing child benefit and working age benefits, so that's the benefit cap, so people who are unemployed, who are claiming disability, things of that nature. Abolishing Sure Start, which is funding for maternity care, things like that, I think. Abolishing baby grant, health pregnancy grant, give me a minute. Let's see. And maternity grant. Oh. Oh, oh, Irish and Italian roots. Thank you, John. Abolishing baby grants. So after you've had your child, the funding to because you've birthed a new human who needs things. Healthy pregnancy grant, which was helping pregnant people get better food, better care while they were pregnant. Obviously, you still got your midwives and healthcare visitors and things of that nature through the NHS, but you got extra funding to help support you while you were pregnant and not working. And maternity grant, which is slightly different up here. So your maternity grant gave you helped you with health issues while you were pregnant, and so did the health pregnancy grants, lots of different things. Abolishing council tax benefits. Didn't abolish it, slashed it to fuck. It still existed, but for some people it was fucking pointless. Didn't really do anything. People were getting council tax benefit of like a couple of quid or pennies even. This happened to my sister. Hang on, that was 15 years ago. Yeah, she had just had she was either still pregnant or I just had my youngest nephew, so she wasn't working. Transition to universal credit, tightening work requirements and sanctions countries. Basically, fucking find work, you scummy little pro. Abolishing the Child Trust Fund, which was basically you could put money into this fund to pay for future education, like either college, further college, or uni, or other vocational things you could do. So they got rid of that. So parents could put money into this from either the benefits of whatever work they were doing to help fund for their child's future educational needs. Accused by the UN of violating the human rights of disabled people. The special rapporteur that got sent to the UK was disgusted. I've read that full report, that link right there. Well, Disability Rights UK, I've read the UN rapporteur's full report. It took me fucking 2 days because the 3 weeks, but I managed to get through it. And yes, it is pretty damning. They literally dehumanize people like me. Never forget that. The Tories are scum. 330,000 excess deaths. Need you forget independent financial. I can't. IFS report on departmental cuts. Basically, they took a massive fucking cleaver to government spending, like 55%. And just went cut the spending, cut all the funding for the departments. Scumbags. Hang on, what's that one? Give me a second. I need to see what that one's from. Huh. Oh God. Right. Switching from tax rises on bankers, pensions, higher incomes, and corporations to a rising VAT. So that's an indirect tax which hits ding 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 poor people. So VAT goes on lots of different things. There's very few things that it doesn't get put on. So instead of taxing rich bastards, they taxed us. Delightful. What was that last one? Give me a second. Oh, yeah. Spending money cutting corporation tax and insisting on further austerity for every other government department and every other part of civil society. I hate these bastards. Gideon and IDS can fuck off. I can't believe that bastard is still in Westminster. Keir Starmer, you stuck. It should have been Faisal Shaheen that got that seat, not that fucking ghoul. What else is there here? Ben, I am loving this. Oof. Oh God. Right. So that was the highlights. Dear God. Oh, is that on YouTube? So we don't. Ah, ah, ah. There's only a few things that we have control of from the Crown Estate. 15% or something of it. All the waters around these great isles, that's all Crown Estate. And about 70 to 80% of the land up here in Scotland are in private hands or in the or are Crown Estates. We don't have control of them. There is a few places that we do have control of. One of them in my fair shire of Perthshire, Randomness, because it's mostly useless. There are places we could be putting turbines in. Trust me on that. I've been to to Rannochmoor. There are places where people go and ramble and stuff because I don't know why it's flat and parts of it are boggy as fuck. You might see a stag or two. You might see some wild boar. You will definitely see lots of red deer in the more northern parts of Rannochmoor. The bits that I was near, that we drove up to, I say near, they were 2 hours drive away from where I lived in Perth. But there's places you can put turbines on, and they are held by the Scottish Government. You can put them there. It is sticks. Like I say, it should be Pfizer, not that fucker. I despise him with a passion for a reason. Him and fucking Haig and fucking Lord Cameron and fucking hell. Don't get me wrong, all the governments between Cameron up to Keir, up to this Labour government, I hated all of the fuckers. And Alistair Jack, who was the Scotland secretary for most of the time, sure, all of the time, he nearly got unseated in 2015, so fucking close by an SNP by a young woman. But no, because of the borders, and they've been Tory for a while. She should have won it. She should have won as well. Mm. I had a story somewhere. There it is. Here we go. I like the Canary. I can deal with it better. So this was yesterday. 5 people here, 3 there. Feinstein, Driscoll in winter. So Feinstein, Driscoll, winter. Disappointment over your party feud, but say donations are secure. Former ANC MP, so that's the African National Congress, so South Africa. He's at South African, by the way, Andrew Feinstein. Former MP Beth Winter and ex-Tyneside Mayor Jamie Driscoll, the directors of the MOU Operations Limited, the firm set up to secure and manage donations to your party, have issued a statement expressing their incredible disappointment in the leadership fallout at the top of the new, but not yet official party, but assuring those who have donated to it that their money is secure and being handled safely and that refunds will be issued to those who want them. Bleh. Obviously, it's the Green Party of England and Wales. Organising, organise, organise, organise. Oh, I've got the schedule for the Scottish Greens conference, which is in Edinburgh next month. I will be recording. I will be speaking to people. I will be taking lots of things, both recordings and photographs. And I might even live stream on my phone. We'll see how I feel. It's an hour and 23 minutes to get rid. There's diversions of shit happening on the M8 there's always shit happening on the M8. So it's going to take 1 hour and 23 minutes to go there. There's 38 miles across the M8 because the M8 fucking sucks. Your party, the chaos continues. Rejoice! Leslie's here. Hi, Les. How are you doing? No problem, no pressure to stay, of course. Thank you for visiting. It's always great to see you. Jamie knows the northeast is fucked. Oh dear God. I just hope it's not too bad, Liz. I really do. The confusion and dismay arose after Sultana's email inviting your party supporters to join as members, followed by a statement from Jeremy Corbyn and other independent MPs disowning it, telling supporters not to use the joining link and threatening legal action, a situation that has led to widespread disgust among the party's left-wing base. I'm not too bad, actually. Doing well. It's just been overcast today, so it's not been damp, which is good for me because the damp just goes straight through me and hurts. Hurts is a bit strong. It makes me stiff. So the damp weather, any sort of dampness, kind of just sits in my joints and I get really stiff. My walking goes really fucking interesting, to put it one way. Super Hubby doesn't call it walking, he calls it shambling. Said you look like someone from The Walking Dead. He's meant to love me. He's actually quite accurate. I really don't walk well half the time. In a statement, Feinstein, Winter, and Driscoll said they will not comment on the Corbyn-Sultana dispute. Oh dear. Maybe you should, guys. But said that they have been trying to mediate in it and are not taking sides, but are incredibly disappointed in the course of events. I am disappointed as well, unfortunately. But like I said, I put my email in. I've been getting regular emails, which is weird because some English people that I've been reading in the news, they haven't had many emails. I've had a fair few. Maybe they're trying to get. Maybe they're trying to get Scotland first because we're more left wing. Don't get me wrong, there's obviously left wingers in England and Wales. I know there is. They're not to use. But all the Scottish people who put into their email into the portal for it to sign up, they give your email and you'll get regular emails from them. And I've been getting emails from them when they put out that sign up with your email. And I've been getting emails from them, including this one to join. But I'm a Scottish Green Party member. I am fully dedicated to them. I was just interested in seeing what sort of stuff they were sending out. We are incredibly disappointed to see the leadership fallout in your party. Death taxes and leftist infighting. Yay. That's new and fun, isn't it? That's it. Death taxes, leftist infighting, leftist audio, or leftist tech issues. Those are the three constants. I'm trying to change two of those. That would be rather fun, wouldn't it? That's why I keep on hoping. I've got my fingers crossed that Mary up here joins the Scottish Greens. Please, Mary, come on over. Please, I beg you. So having Mary join Scottish Greens, fuck, I love it. Darling. Hi, darling. Rejoice, comrades. Mod extraordinaire. Chana Cranky Pants. How you doing, darling? Keypads for water bottles. Make sure. See, my go-to, well, I can't actually do that because the heating's fucked. So it's a combi boiler we've got, so I can't get hot water. I can't get a bath. I would say bath, but I don't know what the temperature is. I, so I would automatically go, have a bath. It will help with the muscles. But heat pads and hot water bottles work as well. Oh, I love Mary as well, Specs. She is awesome. Oh, don't give me hope, Rez. Please don't give me hope. But Ross Greer and Mary Black, fucking bring it. I'd love it. I'd fucking love it. Don't get me wrong, Ross and Gillian Mackay, I think they're going to do fucking amazingly. Their speech is on the Saturday, so that is Saturday the 18th of October, and I'll be there for it. MOU Operations Limited was set up before the launch of your party website went live on the 24th of July, so a couple of months ago. It was approved by Corbyn and Sultana to be the custodians of the donations. All the donations encouraged by both Zara and Jeremy or anyone else went into this bank account with their approval. The recent email launching a membership system uses exactly the same payment system and goes into the same bank account. We will not comment on the dispute between Jeremy and Sarah about who should or should not send emails. That email system is not owned or controlled by MOU Operations. We will speak to Jeremy and Zara and make sure the mechanism for any refunds is shared with you. As the directors of MOU Operations Limited, our duty and loyalty is to the members and supporters who have signed up and donated. We will not take sides between Jeremy and Sarah. I'm noticing a theme here. We'll act only in your interests to deliver the project you signed up for. We want to see this project succeed. So do I. It is bigger than anyone involved. I agree. This is a fast-moving situation and we hope a resolution can be found. We take our legal, moral and fiduciary duties extremely seriously. We want to assure you that we have taken no payment of any kind. We have not been involved in running the project since its launch in July. We are simply custodians of the money. Neither Zara nor Jeremy have received any payment from MOU Operations, nor have they ever asked to, which was what Bosch was saying, that people are taking money out of this. They can't. It is for this is for the party mechanism. This is to fund the party for like campaigning and stuff like that. In the spirit of openness, we have to disclose that we have tried to mediate between Jeremy and Sarah for some weeks now. We have raised concerns about the breakdown of trust, poor communication, inadequate governance, and a lack of transparency. Oh dear. In blunt terms, we demand a meeting to get it sorted. Oh yes, you're a fucking idiot. I was debating not whether to actually bring up what Kev was looking at so I can debunk what he was saying and give the Scottish perspective because it's just stupid with what he said about the NHS. I react violently when people come after the NHS or spread misinformation about it, which Bosch was essentially doing. Do not talk about something you know nothing about because it is very different in all constituent parts of the UK, Bosch, you fucking idiot. One side agreed and the other has not responded despite multiple attempts. See, what side? I'm thinking Sarah's went to these three and said, yes, I want to talk. I think it's the people surrounding Jeremy that haven't responded. That is my speculation. Feel free to distance yourself from my opinion for this one, but I think it's Zara's being completely open and went to Jamie, Beth, and Andrew. The other one, Cyril and Corbyn, I don't think they have. Again, just my opinion. We are as exasperated as you are. We have been inundated with messages asking us to help find a solution, which we continue to do. Hundreds of thousands of people see the need for a new kind of politics. Correct. They want a party that will build from the grassroots up. I want that as well. One that is truly democratic in practice as well as in principle. I agree. And gives the hope for a better Britain and a better world. We share that hope. Amy Driscoll, Beth Winter, Andrew Feinstein, directors of MOU operations. Okay. My leg's doing good, actually. The bruise is still kind of purple. It is lightened. It is not as dark. It's kind of spread up a bit. I don't know if the apixaban, the blood thinners I'm on, by the way, people, everyone. I don't know if they're maybe helping things up. Blood chemistry and how the blood works is finicky, to say the least. But the bruise is lightening, which is a good thing, which means it's not the blood isn't pooling as badly, which is what the apixaban is there for. Oh God! Unified left anyone? I am not holding my breath. Correct specs. It is hostile by default. Yeah, spilling out like this is not good. It really isn't. Ugh. Just fucking end me, really, please. This had hope. It really did. Ugh. How is the back feeling, by the way, sweetie? Let's bring back my huge hope. Do not worry. I will not. I will leave that debate alone. I don't want to get shut down as well. Sorry, Kev. What I should have said, he can use. Can he come on as a private individual if he needs a Twitch space? Obviously, he's still got his YouTube. Oh my God, that's what I'll do. I will lose your chat off my phone for a second. Oh God. Let's see how cancerous it's going to be. I'm assuming she's on. Oh, Cornford. Oh, Sunday was off. Oh. Huh. She is on 9 a.m. So 8 hours time. Award-winning journalism. David Lammy. Fuck. Ed Davey. Leader of Lib Dems. Mel Stride. So that's the Shadow Chancellor. Tory bastard. Hussam Zomlot. Head of Palestinians abroad. Essentially to the UK. So I quite like it. He is good. I like it when we get Hussam on. And actors. Alicia Vikander and Andrew Lincoln. So Alicia Vikander, what I remember most clearly, she's played Lara. When did that one come out? So she played the Tomb Raider, and Andrew Lincoln, Strike Back, and okay, he was, I'm sure he was, and Walking Dead. He's a British actor, by the way. Alicia Vikander, is she Danish or Swiss or something? Sorry, Alicia. So that's the cultural part of it, of Laura Tomorrow. But whammy, fucking end me. That'll be fun. I wonder what Ed Davy's going to be saying. Okay. Right, before we get... Oh no, I'll bring my chat back up. Before we get into videos and stuff. I'll bring my chat. bring you back. I will be back momentarily, comrades. So just look at what I usually watch. Knees. There we go. Yeah. And I'm back. Hello, hello. Okay. Let's see what Demo says.
In the morning, Zara Sultana
Go back to the beginning.
So Britain's political left has always had a reputation for eating itself. But even by those standards, the implosion of your party has been spectacular. A brand new movement, still without a proper name, to be decided by members at an upcoming conference. Finally, asks for your money at breakfast time, and by lunchtime is telling you to cancel the direct debit. You couldn't script farce like this. For the mainstream press couldn't believe their luck. It's open season on the left again. Jeremy Corbyn and Zara Sultana, hailed as the dream ticket, fell out publicly. The Your Party membership launch managed to turn hope into humiliation in under 3 hours. What should have been a rallying cry became a punchline. Sexist boys club, accusations, legal threats, dueling emails published on social media, and a membership portal denounced as faked by one of its own leaders. In the very hour Reform UK is surging to record highs in the polls and Labour a record low, the left's great alternative decided to set fire to itself. And people wonder why trust in politics is gone. Right, so it should have been the left's breakthrough moment. Look at the state of Britain as this drama unfolded. The Conservatives, after years of corruption and managed decline, were flatlining. Labour, under Keir Starmer's anemic leadership, was finally exposed for what it had become, a husk of a party, stripped of anything resembling a soul, incapable of speaking for anyone beyond a narrow band of technocrats and lobbyists. For the first time in its long history, Labour crashed to a miserable 16% in recent polls. The Tories, battered by years of scandal and incompetence, were stuck in the same ditch on the same percentage. And as those twin pillars of the old order were collapsing, Reform UK surged into an astonishing 18% lead over them, the highest any new populist vehicle had ever managed. Congratulations to the mainstream media for providing them with daily political broadcasts by way of interviews and headlines, of course.
Ooh. Oi, activity. Fancy. Thank you for the follow, Aku. I am MyCat79 Scotty I, a Scottish disabled Marxist streamer. I talk about health and disability issues and politics. Welcome, welcome. Please no Fed posting, I beg of you. If you be British, we are currently covering the disastrous thing that is your party. God damn it. My dream of left unity, at least in the UK, dashed yet again. Who'd have thunk it? Leftists not being able to work together. Mm. Does he? I hope he can afford it. Welcome, welcome. It is kind of, there was a recent right-wing rally. It's called Unite the Kingdom. So I will call him by his actual legal name, which is Stephen Yaxley Lennon, also known as Tommy Robinson. And Elon called in. It was 110,000 people marched in London. Delightful.
Their surge is, of course, no accident. But that is the backdrop to this story, isn't it? It's not some ordinary political cycle we're going through right now. This was a once-in-a-generation fracture in the system, the kind of opening radicals pray for, an opportunity like no other for an insurgency. So against that backdrop, Jeremy Corbyn and Zara Sultana were presented with a moment to stand on the stage of history, holding the banner of something new, currently going by the name of Your Party, a party of hope, a party of mass membership potential, a party that would speak for those the establishment had abandoned. Hope was here again. But the potential was staggering. 800,000 people had already signed up to stay informed about this, ready and waiting to join at a moment's notice when the time came. Tens of thousands were waiting to pay their dues and turn that mailing list into a member-led movement as promised. A foundation conference was on the horizon, billed as a radical experiment in democracy, with delegates chosen by lottery rather than stitched up by factions, so I have reservations about representation in taking that route. But if ever there was a time to turn grassroots energy into a viable political force, this was it. And yet within the space of a single afternoon, the project managed to set fire to itself in full public view. What happened that day has already been picked over in the press, and other alt media have had a say in the aftermath too. But to grasp the scale of the betrayal, because that's what this is in my view, a betrayal of everyone who had hope, you have to trace the collapse moment by moment. Late in the morning, Zara Sultana posted a link inviting people to become paying members of Your Party. The site looked official. It offered a standard membership fee, reportedly around £55 per year, with concessionary rates around half that. There were apparently monthly options on offer as well. Within minutes, an email blast went out to the subscriber list repeating the invitation. I got that email. I'd subscribed to the mailing list, even though I'm a Green. Why? Because I'm nosy, and I'm also a former member of Corbyn's Labour. I remain very fond of him. But for the ordinary supporter, this was it. The launch moment they've been waiting for, the first step towards turning hope into power. Sign me up now, many of them cried. By early afternoon, Sultana was jubilant. She claimed 20,000 people had already joined. If accurate, that's a staggering figure, isn't it? Just a couple of hours, 20,000. Your party had signed up more members than many long-standing parties can boast, full stop, and was well on the way to already chasing down the much larger established parties. That number reflected the hunger in the country of so many people, the readiness of ordinary people to throw their lot in with something brand new, something radical, something that promised to break the mould, break the suffocation and ruination of their lives by Starmer's Labour and years of Tory failure before that. But then came the thunderclap, didn't it? In that early afternoon, Jeremy Corbyn and 4 allied MPs issued a joint statement that did not just pour cold water on the launch, it effectively drowned it. Supporters were told not to sign up. Those who already had were instructed to cancel their direct debits. The portal was denounced as unauthorised, a false membership system, collecting money and data without the party's approval. Legal advice, the statement added, was being sought. Sultana's name was conspicuously absent from that letter, though. To rub salt in the wound, Corbyn himself emailed members directly soon after, repeating the repudiation. So to the outside world, it looked like one leader denouncing his own co-leader in real time. The mainstream press, of course, feasted on this. It's Get Jez time again, only they could go for Sultana too, cherry on the top. Politics Home quoted sources saying a formal split was inevitable. The Guardian splashed with the story of a false membership portal and a bitter rift, nobody having published more anti-Corbyn sentiment to my mind than that paper has. Left Foot Forward covered Corbyn's insistence that the launch had been unauthorised. The Morning Star, usually sympathetic to Corbyn, could only shake its head at the spectacle of divisions exploding into the open. But then came Sultana's counterblast. Within an hour, she hit back with fury. She admitted she had launched without permission, but she branded your party a sexist boys' club, claiming she'd been excluded from decision-making by Corbyn's inner circle, naming his former chief of staff, Carrie Murphy, in the process. Very much not the done thing, especially accusing her of financial illegality. It's no wonder there are headlines floating around concerning threats to sue her now. Sultana demanded a meeting with Corbyn directly, without the handlers, without the apparent fixers. The dirty laundry just kept on being aired in public. So the question then was this a case of just simply a case of a young MP going rogue, or whether it was the inevitable collision of two fundamentally different instincts within the project? The press framed it as Sultana freelancing, but that version of events is too convenient. The deeper truth is that this conflict has been building for months. On one side, you have Sultana, who is energetic, arguably impatient, with a mass youth following and credibility among the generation that had rallied to Corbyn in 2017 and 2019. She'd driven the creation of this new party. It wasn't all Corbyn. He has been dragging his feet for years over will he or won't he launch a new party. So in my view, Sultana was refusing to let the dream of a radical alternative die. She knew people were desperate. She knew momentum mattered. The timing with recent polling and the election to Green Party leader of Zach Polanski, very much of the same left-wing political persuasion, risked stealing their potential thunder, and she pressed to seize the chance while it still existed. What was to hold up with beginning memberships after all? If everything was still in place, she was able to launch this portal after all. If this event proved anything, it showed the capacity was already there. Surely there's no such thing as going too early with recruiting memberships, is there? But on the other side stood Corbyn's and his old guard, personified, as Sultan has done so, by Carrie Murphy, his former chief of staff. To some, Murphy is the tough operator who held Corbyn's office together back when he was Labour leader. To others, she's the ultimate gatekeeper with her hands on the leader. So the implosion was not an accident in and of itself, but simply the manifestation of this clash going on behind the scenes. Sultana hit the launch button. Corbyn's camp hit back with denunciations and possibly lawyers. And Corbyn himself has so often fronted the caution of his advisers. The sexist boys' club line was not random either. It was a direct challenge to the 5 signatories of that letter saying the membership portal was false, and to the inner circle that had long kept control in Corbyn's world. Whether or not the sexism charge sticks, the accusation exposed a factionalism going on within this operation. The deeper damage, though, was not just the split, but the trust it destroyed. Money, data, power, the 3 pillars of any political project, were shattered in a single afternoon.
Oh, Specs, my dude. My mum's had that. She had an accident as a teenager. Well, she didn't get her teeth knocked out, don't worry about that. But she had an accident when she was a teenager, many, many years ago. We call them wallies up here, so that they're wallies, your dentures, essentially. And she couldn't wear them for many, many, many years until I was at secondary school before she started wearing them. So what they've done in the meantime is that they put in, instead of her using her inserts, her dentures, they had to drill into her skull and give her teeth. It's like her front four or something. She couldn't read it, she kept on gag. I've got a horrible gag reflex, but I'm fine with any sort of dental work that needs to be done. I'm fine with that. But the gag reflex in me is fucking mental, apparently. Delightful. Just a lot of people have this. It's nothing connected with my other health issues. Some people just have a really fucking strong gag reflex. Like something dredged up from back in our DNA code, so from when we were other things before we became Homo sapiens. Or also so fucking millions of years ago. So I've got a strong gag reflex. So my teeth are relatively fine. I'm in danger of this plaque build-up, which is genetic. So I don't think I need to worry about having to get dentures at some point in my life. So how old would my mum have been? I was in secondary school. She'd be in her late 30s before she started wearing them because she made her book. Poor mum. My granny needed her dentures. She got her dentures when she was my age. I'm 46 just now, so she got hers when she was 46, 47 nearly, which would have been 60. Fucking hell, 66. Funny you. So she'd been wearing dentures. She lost her top row of teeth because of really quite bad infections, really bad plaque, and entire side, this side, her left, her right hand side of her teeth, they all just fucking fell out, literally fell out of her fucking mouth when she was 44 or something, late 44. And the rest of them were basically on shaky ground. So she'd been wearing like full dentures up here since she was in her mid to late 40s. Again, poor granny and poor mum. My auntie needs to wear them, but she doesn't. She's older than my mum. My mum's the youngest girl. She's got brothers younger than her. But my auntie, who is just slightly older than my mum, she hates them as well. She gags as well with them. And she's meant to be wearing them, but according to my cousin, who I talked to, she doesn't like wearing them. And she struggles to eat. Is that a bad? I'm not going to give away my mum's maiden name before she got married. So that side of the family, they seem to have an issue with dentures. Rather funny.
You cannot ask people to set up direct debits in the morning and tell them to cancel them in the afternoon, alleging they are getting scammed without destroying your own credibility. It's unbelievable. No party in modern memory has begged for money at breakfast and begged for cancellations by lunch. Who would risk their money again with a mess like that? You cannot have rival portals and unauthorized emails flying around without totally undermining confidence in data security. Who will trust their information in that environment? And you cannot promise grassroots empowerment while insiders allegedly pull strings behind the scenes to leverage it. That now needs to be clarified. Who will believe the rhetoric of democracy after this display of factional warfare going on? No one comes out of this unscathed, regardless of whose side you might see yourself on, having assessed the information for yourself. Sultana was made to look reckless, launching without consensus, so arguably you might have been waiting another 6 months or more otherwise at the speed things were going. And was certainly the one airing their dirty linen in public here. Corbyn has ended up looking weak, I would argue, allowing himself to be the front for Sultana's alleged gatekeepers, as she claims, behind the scenes, rather than a unifier. And I take no joy in saying that whatsoever. I am still enormously fond of him. He has, in no small part, made me the political activist that I am today. Murphy, who Sultana has presented as the face of Corbyn's old guard, represents an impression of selfish power hoarders in the back room, willing to strangle momentum to preserve control. But they're not in a position to answer to that, I would argue, either. I dare say at the rate dirty laundry is being aired here, we may well find out the truth of all of this yet. But for supporters, it's been devastating. The promise of your party is now in tatters. The selfishness of the implosion is only magnified by the political backdrop. Reform UK at 18% lead was proving that the ground was shaky. Labour and the Tories, both at 16%, were showing the collapse of the duopoly, of the old.
I like those. Obviously, I will keep on saying it until I'm blue in the face. Funny colour connection there. I will say it until I'm blue in the face. The Conservative and Unionist Party, never forget that. They didn't want holiday set up, remember, and they didn't want the minimum wage and lots of other. Obviously, they are Tories, they are bastards. As far as I'm concerned, the Conservative and Unionist Party are politically and electorally dead. They are the Union, and we will find out in November if Kemi will survive and see what other fucking Egypt we get. I'm saying the two front runners, and I was right the last time when I said it was going to be a runoff between Kemi and fucking Robert Jenrick. And I said she's going to win. I actually put actual money on it and won money on it for her winning last year. I'm hesitant to do it this time, but fuck it, I might throw another fiver at it. I'll see what mood I'm in after the Tory party conference. I'll be watching closely to see what the fucking workers say. So I think the runoff this time, if they actually beat her, Philp or Jenrick. I don't think Cleverly or Stride will run again. I just have a feeling I think they're beyond that now. I think they're both thinking, "Nah, I'm not going to fucking go into this again." If anything, at the next general election, I think both of those gentlemen will stand down and just say, "Fuck this for a game of soldiers. I'm leaving politics." Let's wait and find out, obviously. So I don't think those two will throw their hat in if they do actually get rid of Kemi. I don't care what they say in fucking Laura Koonsberg or fucking any Politics Live or anything or Question Time. I don't care. I do not believe them. They're all backstabbing bastards. Dear God. So I'm saying Kemi's days are numbered. Yeah. Well, obviously they've lost Berry now, an actual shadow cabinet member. Fun. And plus Reform have Nadine. Lucky them. Oh God, what fucking politics? The politics here in the UK is fucking fucked, for lack of a polite word.
Political party movement. Your party, with its 800,000 people signed up to stay informed, had the base to seize the moment. If even a fraction of those converted into paying membership, it could have launched as a mass force on day one. Yet on that very day, Sultana claimed 20,000 had already joined. The chance was there, therefore, clear as daylight, and instead of planting its flag, the movement set fire to itself. The party has imploded as Corbyn and Sultana traded threats and insults. So where does the energy go from here now? Well, if it hasn't come across already, I'm incredibly angry about all of this. I'd hoped for a united front taking on the right wing between your party and the Green Party at some point down the line to actually challenge that dominance that now looks set to seize a massive majority instead in 2029 once again. And God help us all if that happens. Together, they could have formed a broad left bloc capable of challenging both the establishment parties and Reform, to bring the change to this country so desperately needs. And that hope is now once again in tatters. The Greens under Zach Polansky have shifted decisively left. They are socialists on economics, and firm in solidarity with Palestine, and sharper than ever on climate justice. Polanski himself is incredibly impressive, a savvy media performer. He's sharper than Corbyn. He's steadier than Sultana. He's coherent in a way the circus of your party absolutely isn't. And on the day of the implosion, the Greens quietly gained a new 2,000 members as it happens, not directly linked to your party's blowout at all, incidentally. But symbolically, that's still powerful. As one party collapses, the other grew. And yet Polanski is still deliberately frozen out of much of the media, as the Green Party always has been. The Greens still carry baggage of their past centrism for many people as well, and many disillusioned would-be members of your party may not automatically drift to them as a result of that. Some will retreat into apathy, others into single-issue campaigns, others to even more bitter distrust of parties than they already were. The opening for a radical left breakthrough isn't close, but it's far narrower than it was. So could Corbyn and Sultana salvage anything from this? The obvious demand is for the two of them to sit down face to face without the handlers, without the fixers, and thrash out a truce between the two of them. This is apparently happening at this moment in time. If there is any hope of reconciliation, that is where it lies. But even if they manage that, the damage to the party and its brand may already be irreparable. Once you tell people to cancel their memberships, they don't forget that. Once you're exposed to death...
I will say to people who may not be aware, or I'll just say anyway, Scottish Green Party member, I voted for Labour once, 97 landslide, Blair, blah, 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 the things are going to get better, all that fucking bollocks. So that was the first time I ever voted in a general election. And that was the first and last time I voted for Labour, because I saw Blair a few months into his administration last time we took his cunt he was. This is early doors, basically before I can't remember what time of year it was. Give me a minute, I need to go and check. Date of the 1997 general election. I made that shit up. Thursday, 1st of May. Fucking International Workers' Day. What the hell? 1997. So that was my first general election, and it was in Clydebank. I voted Labour for my sins, even though I was a leftist. And the candidate, many Scottish people, you will recognise this name. I'm gunning for her. I want to get rid of her. She is currently an MSP. Her name is Jackie Bailey. She is Anna's second in command. Anna's doesn't have a constituency. Jackie does. Anna's list. Jackie's a constituent MSP, which means she's got an actual constituency. My constituency MSP is an SNP one, a man called Bob Doris. And people on my list are Patrick Harvey of Scottish Greens, Annie Wells, a Tory. Oh, I can't remember the bastard's name. So I've got two Tories, one Labour, and one. So there's 6. So just Annie Wells, Patrick Harvey. Fuck, I can't remember the other ones. The ones that actually represent the north part of the city are Patrick Harvey and a Labour person. It was Patricia Ferguson, but she's now an MP. She got booted out. She did have this one that Bob Doris represents. And she got booted out. We voted her out of our constituency. And she lost her place in the list as well. So she was in political wilderness until she got parachuted back in 19? 19, I think. Or maybe last year. So in each of the lists, there's 6 other MSPs. So it's a list MSP and a constituency MSP up here.
Depth of factional power struggles as has been aired in the public domain, they do not forgive that. And more fundamentally, the instincts at play may simply be incompatible now. Sultana embodies urgency, energy, and impatience. Corbyn embodies caution And consensus, delay as well, arguably. One presses the accelerator, the other the brake, in a sense. But you cannot drive a movement that way because you end up going nowhere, do you? The implosion also raises larger questions that go beyond the individuals. Who really controls new political movements? Because Sultana has raised that question in the public domain by naming Carrie Murphy.
Oh, you spelled her name wrong. So right, here we go. So my MP is Maureen. What the fuck? I just heard a noise there about my headphones. Can everyone still hear me? Oh Christ, my Bluetooth updated. It just gave me the announcement. So my my MP is Maureen Burke. She's Labour. So that is Glasgow North East. My MSP, which is Glasgow, Maryhill and Springburn, I'm the Springburn part, is Bob Doris. He is SNP. And my list MSPs are Pam Duncan Glancy, Labour, Sandesh Gulhane, Tory, Patrick Harvey, Scotch Greens, Pauline McNeill, Scotch Labour, Anna Sarwar, leader of Scotch Labour. So he's basically from the south side. He represents the other side of the river. Paul Sweeney from Labour, and Annie Wells is another Tory. So there's two Tories, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 Labour, 1 SNP. No, hang on. Yeah, she's Labour. Pauline McNeill, Labour. I don't have any. Oh yeah, because the SNP is the constituent MSP.
Is it the figureheads themselves, or is it the unelected advisors behind them? Does that make this political party any different from those that we're already sick and tired of? What does member empowerment mean in practice in this picture? Is a lottery conference genuinely democratic, or just a gimmick that risks randomness over real representation? Can the left ever reconcile the tension between caution and urgency, or is it fated to miss every political window while waiting for perfection? How much damage does public infighting do compared to resolving disputes quietly? Was Sultana right to go public, or did it doom reconciliation forever as a result? And perhaps most important of all, what does this mean in the struggle against the far right? Because with reform surging, the implosion of the left's great hope has just handed them a free run. The conclusion, unfortunately, is brutal. The implosion of your party is more than organisational failure, it's a betrayal. 800,000 people gave their names in hope. Tens of thousands were ready to hand over their money. Millions were desperate for change, and the leaders gave them chaos instead. It's selfish, it's short-sighted, and it reinforces every caricature the press loves to weaponise, that the left cannot govern itself, let alone the country. Zara Sultana, Jeremy Corbyn, Carrie Murphy, whoever else that might remain thus far unnamed. Some of them, all of them perhaps, to some degree or another, share some level of blame here. Recklessness, weakness, control, and inability to put ego aside and turf wars for the sake of those who needed them. The very moment when the political ground cracked open, when the duopoly...
Rejoice, comrades. Eldon Hubbard has arrived. Hi, Eldon. How you doing? I'm. I think if they manage to talk this out and get it sorted privately, do not give the right-wing press any more fucking ammunition, you pair of idiots. Ugh. If they get this fixed in private, they might be able to move on from this debacle. We will see. They. Do you hope they survive? I'd want people to have a left-wing option. Yeah, conservative economics and conservative social views. No, that is not socialist. No, 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 no. You could go away. Join the Lib Dems if you like. It's fuck off. That is, they are a single issue. Basically, justice for Gaza, for the Palestinians. I get it. I am for that as well. I want that. The SNP want that. The Scottish Greens want that. The Green Party of England and Wales want that. What a lot of people have been saying is that Zara should just go over to the Greens. I can see why people are saying that. Don't get me wrong. But if they manage to get this fixed, I will say again, do it in fucking private. They might be able to move on from this. Might. It's more than a 50-50 in my opinion. They just need to do it in private and not give the press any more fucking ammunition. It's bad enough. You cannot trust the press here for obvious reasons, many counted fucking reasons. We have receipts, obviously. Just do it in private, get it fucking fixed. So, and kick out those fucking landlords, please. What is it? I don't know what the main culprit is. The one that you embraced, the one that you gave a hug to. I can fucking see him. I can't remember his name. No, you don't get to be that. Because people in the Lib Dems say good things about wanting to stop the genocide and things of that nature. Well, and everything else, they're fucking dog shit. The Lib Dems, they supported this scum. I have no time for Lib Dems. Oh, award-winning verbalism. David Lammy. Hey, Davey. Shit. I checked. I have forgotten. The main one's Lammy, obviously. New Deputy Prime Minister. Fantastic. Oh, yeah, I get that. I understand it. I speak to each other in private and get it fixed, then make a public statement. And stop saying that people's money isn't safe. Fucking YouTubers and other streamers of any nature, or columnists for that matter. Just don't, please. Get it fixed in private. Speak privately. Speak to the people who are safeguarding the donations that have already went in. So go to Jamie Driscoll, Beth Winter, and Andrew Feinstein and say blah blah blah. We're here to talk. We want to get this all fixed. Then make a statement saying it is all we have resolved these issues. We are moving forward. We will see. That's the least I can say, I guess. Yeah.
Collapsed and the far right surged, the left had a once-in-a-lifetime chance, and it seems they just chose to set fire to it. Unity and trust are not optional extras. Without them, no movement survives. With them, even a small force can grow into something historic. For those who placed their last hope in your party, the anger is justified, and I feel for you. For the wider left, the warning is that if we keep repeating these mistakes, if we keep allowing selfishness and gatekeeping and infighting to sabotage each and every opportunity, then the far right and the hollow political shells that lead Labour and the Tories will continue to dictate all of our futures. And yet, one question still lingers. Was this really just Sultana going rogue? Or was it Corbyn or his old guard pulling the plug? Who truly wrecked the moment and why? It does take two to tango in my view. I think there's got to be blame and consequence on both sides here. Perhaps the most damning question of all, after all of this chaos, is who could ever trust this movement again? The chance was there. It will come again, I'm sure, because I do think your party collapsed yesterday. I can't see a way back, save a massive reconciliation effort somehow succeeding and somehow convincing people still willing to back that if it happens. Perhaps it's already here, though, in the form of Zach Polanski, and people need to look in that direction now. But if another opportunity comes, it can't be wasted like this one has been. For more on Polanski's win of the Green Party leadership, why it was such an emphatic victory, and what this guy is all about, if you still have reservations about where the Green Party is headed now, do check out this video recommendation here as your suggested next watch. There is a place for socialists like us here. I, for one, have never been happier since I joined them. Please do also hit like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already, so as to ensure you don't miss out on all new daily content, as well as spreading the word and helping support the channel at the same time, which is very much appreciated. Holding power to account for ordinary working class people, and I'll hopefully catch you on the next vid. Cheers, folks.
Hopefully, hopefully Zach will get that fixed. I have faith in my leadership up here now, so which is Ross Greer and Gillian Mackay. They're the new co-leaders of the Scottish Greens, and I can't wait for their keynote, their co-leader speech. Oh, I have my tickets. My tickets. I'm going to the Scottish Green Party conference. 17th through 19th of October, so in a month's time. I can't remember when the party conference. Hopefully things like that will get thrashed out at their party conference, which I believe is at the end of October, I believe. Because our one's usually before the one down in England and Wales, I think. Give me a second. My eye cream. I'll get my other face stuff in a minute. I'm currently putting on my eye cream, which is to prevent bags. So, or what a lot of my friends and family members, including my sister. Suitcases under my eyes. Cheeky bitch. I think hers are probably worse than mine because she fucking harassed me with her job and her boys. Give me a second so I can get rid of you. Green Party Conference. Green Party Conference. Oh God. Oh, it's before hours. Huh. From the 3rd to the 5th of October. Bournemouth. Lucky Bournemouth. So, what day is that? Can someone check for me so I don't need to leave any of my phones? What day of said week is the 3rd? Hang on, I can work this out. 14th, which Sun, 6th, I, 4. So it's a Friday. 3rd is Friday the 3rd. Yeah, really work out. This sounds like fun. Fuck it. Oh no, 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 no. Republic.
Pay your bills. Johnson will 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 pay your bills. Pay your bills. Johnson will 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 pay your bills. Pay your bills. Johnson will pay your bills. Johnson will pay your bills.
I am also a fully paid up member of Republic because I am a Republican. I do not think we should have a monarchy or the other place. hierarchy is anathema to me. I don't like it. I quite like that chant. Thank you, Graham. Let's see, what have we got? Hello, John.
From what I know of Zach Polanski, he has expressed a willingness and a desire to work in coalition with anyone who is willing to beat the far right.
Oh, yeah?
You know, and he seems to be having a more mature approach to this entire question. And I'm sure that he's not very happy, actually, to see what is going down. He wants there to be a strong coalition of people, of organizations, whether it's from the Green movement, the Labour movement, people who see themselves as part of both, in order for us to be able to meet this challenge of a potential reform victory. Reform have obviously done very well in the council elections that just happened, and they have been using that power in a way that tells us exactly what they intend to do when they have national political power. They are going to go down this route of making this a hostile country for queer people, for Black people, for brown people, for immigrants, and also for the working class. Because let's not forget, Reform don't have any substantive material package for the working class. We will support whatever vehicle is needed and is in front of us to stop the rise of Reform. Because what Zach Polanski has built is clearly quite serious. He was an insurgent Green leader candidate, and he organized and managed to win the leadership. And that is the kind of focus and organization that we need to apply to the rest of the country in order to beat this thing. From what I know of Zach Polanski, he has expressed a willingness and a
Oh! My left eye, the lovely lefty, our beast Mancunian, Frisbee, my left eye, it says I've got free reign. You're going to regret that, lefty, by the way. Let's see what lefty has to say. This is just that.
First, they came for the communists, and I did not speak out because I was not a communist.
Now,
I'm
there
a
have been some
communist.
pretty embarrassing political moves over the years, but Donald Trump's latest one will have you palming your face through the back of your own head. The President of the United States is seeking to add a group to the country's list of major terrorists. The group in question is...
Wait for it!
Antifa.
What?
What?
Okay.
What?
What?
You gotta be f***ing kidding.
And he said the Antifa is sick and dangerous, and Antifa will be designated a major terrorist organization. He said, I'm pleased to inform our many USA patriots that I am designating Antifa a sick, dangerous, radical left disaster as a major terrorist organization. I will also be strongly recommending that those funding Antifa will be thoroughly investigated in accordance with the highest legal standards and practices. Thank you for your attention on this matter.
That's right, people. The initial stumbling block that the pumpkin spice Palpatine will have to overcome is the inconvenient fact that they don't exist.
Donald. Donald. Listen. Antifa literally just means people who are anti-fascist. I'm an anti-fascist. I hate fascists. They are anathema to what I stand for. They are horrible bastard people who target great swaths of society and people and communities. They are not like ISIS or Hamas, if you will, or the IRA. It's just people who say that they are against fascists, which is quite a lot of people across the world and quite a lot of people in the US. It is not an organisation. Good luck. I guess. Yes, he is fucking mental. How? Why? America? Just why? Why? Just no. Giving that individual that level of power, he's getting used as a puppet, by the way, by people who are fairly intelligent, I guess. Still ghoulish fucking bastards, obviously, capitalists and climate deniers and anti-vaxxers and all sorts of different ghoulish people who have the power and the influence to make him do this kind of stuff. Antifa isn't an organisation. I don't think our government will do that because they know what that actually stands for. Mind you, they're already arresting people for doing peaceful protests, so no. But Donald, that Antifa isn't an organisation. It just means people who are anti-fascist, who stand against fascism. And you won't get the head of Antifa anyway because he lives here in the UK. Or she lives here in the UK. It might be me. But you're saying to that, and so you're the Secretary of State. I have made fun of the administration and all the ghouls that surround Trump, or Tangerine Ballbag, if you wish. I will not get in because I've literally denounced most of what the administration's been doing because ghoulish and illegal mostly. And funding a genocide. Delightful.
Not keeping up with modern linguistics as well as he thinks he is, Trump has overlooked the fact that Antifa is simply a colloquial abbreviation for the term anti-fascist and is not any kind of political organisation or group. If someone says they're Antifa, it doesn't mean that they can whip out a membership card or that they get monthly newsletters by email. It's simply an expression, two words combined into one for the sake of brevity. That's it. We have to look at this announcement in two different ways though, neither of which look particularly optimistic for the direction of America or the UK, who just finished hosting Trump on an arse-kissing state visit that will have you reaching for the vomit bag quicker than you can say special relationship. First of all, as far as
I will go back. This is from our Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer. An endorsement from Donald Trump tells you everything you need to know about what is wrong with Boris Johnson's politics and why he isn't fit to be Prime Minister. Help? I'm assuming that was when Boris was Prime Minister, which was now technically 3 Prime Ministers ago because Keir, Rishi and Liz. Mind you, saying that she was only PM for 49 days. Shortest serving Prime Minister ever. Fun times.
reaching for the vomit bag quicker than you can say special relationship. First of all, as far as the orange-faced piece getting his own way is concerned, this could result in the banning of any United States organisation that uses the abbreviation in their name, such as Anti-Fascist Action, for example. While he can't ban a political stance or ideology, he may have to go for such organisations individually, but that would of course be a violation of the First Amendment. Congress shall make no law to prevent the right of people to peacefully assemble. The second way of looking at this, though, is truly worrying. Whether he does believe Antifa is an organisation or not, Donald has openly declared that he is against anti-fascism, and if you're anti-fascist, then that makes you a... So it's not even speculation at this point. Trump is a fascist. He just said it himself.
Oh, what a giveaway. Did you hear that? Did you hear that, eh? That's what I'm on about.
Historically, the first move any fascist or fascist group makes is to ban the organisations who oppose them. This, of course, happened with Mussolini, who was the pioneer of 20th century fascism, and also his German admirer, who later went on to become Chancellor. You know who.
Who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler?
He banned communists, Leninists, Marxists and so on, and withdrew the right to free assembly wholesale. Other traits of the fash include attacks on intellectuals,
Smart people don't like me,
and restricting the rights of religious minorities. There is literally no other reason why any leader would seek to eradicate anti-fascism from their country other than being for the politics that anti-fascist groups stand against. If you're a socialist of any description watching this from the States right now, then you should be extremely concerned, and I'd like to know your thoughts, so please hit the comments section. Whether you're a democratic socialist or an outright communist, this is a move against everybody who stands up to far-right ideologies. Many mainstream commentators scoffed and laughed when Donald declared that he would be a dictator from day one, just before he took office for the second time, but now that's been shown to be his true intention, the very reason he campaigned again after leaving with his tail between his legs in 2021. For some reason, the MAGA crowd believed that electing him again would better their own lives in America's crumbling economy, but when Trump wakes up every day, he only has one thing on his mind: himself and how to obtain more power. That's what authoritarianism is all about, and we're seeing an example of that right now in real time before our very eyes. But as always, we'd do well to heed the lessons of the past, as summed up perfectly by Martin Niemöller in this classic poem from 1946 that still rings true here in 2025.
Damn right!
First, they came for the communists, and I did not speak out because I was not a communist. Then they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak out for me.
As I said, I'd love to hear your thoughts about Trump's new objective, especially from our American viewers, so please let us know in the comments below. Thanks a lot for watching to the end of the video. If you'd like to help the channel out a little bit more, then please consider signing up as a member. For only 99p, there are some great perks for you to enjoy, including
Specs. Praise be. Specs Bean Farmer.
exclusive content, early viewings, plus lots more, and you get to join
Let's see who else likes
for you to
Specs.
enjoy, including exclusive content, early viewings, plus lots more.
Andrina. Praise be Andrina. Patrick Westmore. Oi, oi. How long have you been a member, Specs?
More, and you get to join the list of
FBI.
awesome people that you can see on your screen right now.
Bilderberg. Praise be Bilderberg. Davinia. Hello, Davinia. Praise be Davinia. Clipid. Praise be Clipid. The good globalist. Well done, good globalist.
Follow the link to join in the video description. If you'd like to make a one-off contribution,
Let's see. Van von Coxlap. Nicola Curtin. Hello, Nicola. Ian McKenna. Oh my God. About a year. Over a year? Something like that.
then please hit super thanks or follow the link to our Buy Me a Coffee.
Oh, what is that name down there? I like that. The red lines went right through my fucking name. Ruthie. Hi, Ruth. Praise be. Ruth Guthrie. She is Scottish. She's good. And look, some mentalist called Katie Marshall. I wonder who that can be.
Coffee page where you can help to show solidarity and support the channel.
Mobius. Mobius has a channel. Just type in Mobius. YouTube. He does gardening. Jacqueline. Praise be, Jacqueline. James Holmes. We love James. James is awesome.
For just the price of a tasty hot beverage. All contributions are greatly appreciated. Thanks.
Vicky Clee. Praise be, Vicky Clee. I love Vicky. She's amazing. I love her. And Wolf Pitt. He has this salt tire as his avatar. It looks awesome. Good choice with Pitt.
again, everyone. My left, I'll be seeing you soon.
Thank you, Lefty. Fucking awesome, as always. I'm not going to this one. I can't. I just can't. I can't. Michael and Aaron are getting on my fucking tits. They're getting on my go, blah, 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 annoying the fuck out of me. Easy. I'm not sure what shall we cover now? Fuck it, did I get put in Kev's disc? Oh, right, hang on. Get my automotive, don't tell me. Oh! He's over there behind the couch. That's where I used to hide from the Daleks when I watched Doctor Who as a little lassie. They scared me. Yes. At least we've still got Ash. We've got Moya. Moya's up here in Glasgow now. Yay. Dahlia's quite good. Mostly, and Rivka. Fucking yes. Rivka. I love Rivka so fucking much. Literally going up and trying to get talking to Mandelson. Ah! She actually said yum yum to his face. Rivka, you fucking legend. So we've got Ash and Rivka, and on some issues we've got Dahlia and Moya's up here now. Working for Mint Press, I believe. I have no idea what's in my watch later, but I'll check it anyway. I think I went through most of it. Give me a minute. Done that one last night. I done you last night. Was shooting fuck off. You are a wee cunt. Yeah, I went through them. I have. Yeah, I have went through them all. Playlists. Stream videos. Is that a... Oh my god. That's that. Oh, I forgot about that one. I'll just leave that in there. I haven't watched this one yet.
Oh dear, oh dear. Donald Trump and his allies
Sally
are
has
seeking
to.
to use the assassination of Charlie Kirk to accelerate their plans to destroy democracy.
Oh, quick poll. Are people feel Owen will, if I know, obviously we know the way he goes in for certain things, certain topics, certain things that's flare up or things that happen and stuff. Obviously, he's been great on Palestine. Obviously, he is fucking amazing. He is a lovely little twink. Look at him. He's 41 years old and he doesn't fucking look it. Ooh, are you growing a beard there, Owen? Good luck. Owen with a beard. That might be interesting. Are people fed up of Charlie Kirk thing? I'll say no violence, obviously. Bad. Murdering people, not good. Don't like. Do not do it. I'm still wondering how he actually carved that shit onto bullets. But did he have access to a lathe to lathe things like that and you etch things out or you carve things off? Owen's a wee cutie. Obviously he's not attracted to me because women. Owen, lovely little gay. I'm pretty sure I'm quite taller than him. Oh, is it me? Maybe just slightly shorter than me. His mum's tiny. His mum's like 5 foot nothing or something. So I would tower over her. 5'8", by the way.
Democracy, destroy their opposition, and build an overtly authoritarian state. Now, whether they succeed or not isn't certain, but it is clearly their plan, going even further than the regime in Hungary, which is a blueprint for the international far right, where Viktor Orban has destroyed democracy in a meaningful sense. Remember when the far right claimed to be champions of free speech? Yeah, this was a lie. We said it was a lie, and we were right. It is always the case, has always been the case that it's a lie. It's a nonsense, a ruse to protect hateful, incendiary speech against minorities from even being challenged, because they would portray even verbal pushback against such speech as an attack on free speech. Now, a couple of weeks before Trump became president on a far more extreme platform than his first term, I warned about what would happen if there was a big, this is what I wrote, what would happen if there was a big crisis during his presidency, such as a big terrorist attack or turbulent protests, noting his desire in his first term to send in the military after Black Lives Matter protests erupted after the police murder of George Floyd was overturned at the time against his wishes. That this time, given he had more power and given he was more extreme, that wouldn't be the case. In other words, what I was setting out was my view that his administration would use a pretext of some description. They would wait for a pretext, some sort of crisis incident to crack down on democracy. Now, the police already made clear that the alleged assassin of Charlie Kirk was acting on his own, but the US right are claiming that he has been radicalized by a vast network which must be destroyed, and that means their political opposition. And when I say the US right, the US far right, they're in charge. They run the country. On Tuesday night, US Vice President J.D. Vance hosted Charlie Kirk's podcast, a truly bizarre spectacle in its own right. One of his guests was Stephen Miller, one of Donald Trump's key advisors, who has a history of promoting overtly white nationalist politics. Let's hear what Miller said.
What emotions I'm feeling right now, this is something people say. I mean, you kind of know the answer. There's incredible sadness, but there's incredible anger. And the thing about anger is that unfocused anger or blind rage is not a productive emotion.
Right.
But focused anger, righteous anger, directed for a just cause is one of the most important agents of change in human history.
Charlie showed that. Amen.
And we are going to channel all of the anger that we have over the organized campaign that led to this assassination to uproot and dismantle these terrorist networks. So let me explain a little bit what that means. So,
got 30 seconds, so be quick, Stephen.
The organized doxing campaigns, the organized riots, the organized street violence, the organized campaigns of dehumanization, vilification, posting people's addresses, combining that with messaging that's designed to trigger and incite violence, and the actual organized cells that carry out and facilitate the violence, it is a vast domestic terror movement. And with God as my witness, we are going to use every resource we have.
That's what the right's doing, Stephen. That's what the right's doing. Don't get me wrong, the left are organising, but we're doing property destruction and campaigning against fossil fuel companies and anti-vaxxers and people who are destroying the planet. The left are actually targeting people, doxing us. Oh, not me. I've not been doxed. Don't get me wrong, I do kind of give some stuff away. But not everything. Glasgow, disabled, Marxist. That's what the right's doing, Stephen. Right? That's what you stain of humanity. You are vile, you are horrible, you're disgusting, you don't like people like me. I am disabled. I can't have children. I can't propagate the white race. I am not right-wing in any way whatsoever. You dehumanize people like me because I'm bisexual, I'm disabled, and I'm a leftist. That is what the right are doing. They are targeting people and killing us sometimes. Not good.
At the Department of Justice, Homeland Security, and throughout this government to identify, disrupt, dismantle, and destroy these networks and make America safe again for the American people. It will happen, and we will do it in Charlie's name.
Thank you, Stephen. Don't go away. I'll be joined by a guest of Friends just in a few seconds.
What he does here is combine a whole host of different claims and phenomena. In his striking, he describes organised doxing campaigns, that is, campaigns to reveal the identities of political opponents online, and given that's what the right is currently doing to those who say things about Charlie Kirk which they do not approve of. But the networks they describe, mark my words, will range from mainstream liberal and frankly impotent campaigns to the organised left in the United States. That is clear from everything that all of these people are saying. Indeed, listen to what Stephen Miller said on Fox News a few weeks ago before the murder of Charlie Kirk.
Look, we discussed this last time I was on your show. The Democrat Party does not fight for, care about, or represent American citizens. It is an entity devoted exclusively to the defense of hardened criminals, gangbangers, and illegal alien killers and terrorists.
What did he say there? He said the Democratic Party is not a political party. It is a domestic extremist organization. That's the sort of language dictators use when they want to shut a political party down. I mean, I don't really need to unpack that any further, do I? That's just a fact. Let's listen to what else J.D. Vance said in the podcast.
And while our side of the aisle certainly has its crazies, it is a statistical fact that most of the lunatics in American politics today are proud members of the far left.
Evidence. Mr. Vice President, or sofa enjoyer, if you wish, Mr. Vice President, evidence, bring receipts, please, for that. Show us the statistics, if you wish, if we are inclined to believe them. You need evidence to say that shit. Oh, fucking brilliant pause. Look at the face. Sorry to pause you making a face like that whenever we do. Oh. Carry
This
on.
is a lie. It's a straightforward, unambiguous lie. Statistically speaking, right-wing violence is far, far greater than left-wing violence. Excluding 9/11, given there were 3,000 murders in one go there, the Cato Institute finds that since 1975, there have been 391 murders motivated by right-wing ideology compared to 61 because of left-wing ideology. In recent years, there have been escalating far-right terrorist attacks on a synagogue, for example, a church, a supermarket targeting black people. There was nothing equivalent in scale coming from the left at all. And indeed, we've seen, for example, with the attacks, the attempted assassinations of Donald Trump, neither of the would-be assassins were left-wing. This is all a lie being used to justify a far-right crackdown on anything deemed left-wing. And they use that in an all-encompassing term. But they are coming after the left, no question about that. Indeed, Trump also made this clear on Fox News.
I'll tell you something that's going to get me in trouble, but I couldn't care less. The radicals on the right oftentimes are radical because they don't want to see crime. They don't want to see crime.
Worried about the border.
They're saying, we don't want these people coming in. We don't want you burning our shopping centers. We don't want you shooting our people in the middle of the street. The radicals on the left are the problem, and they're vicious, and they're horrible, and they're politically savvy. Although they want men and women sports, they want transgender for everyone, they want open borders.
So he's saying there that it's only those deemed left-wing who he deems a violent threat he's worried about. Because he's saying those who are radicalized on the right have legitimate concerns. That's what he's saying, concerns that are valid. And it's the left who, that's all he cares about. Even though, again, the statistical evidence shows that far more violence comes from the right. But he doesn't care about that violence, does he? Because those are his people. Now, this is all crucial context when we listen to J.D. Vance's other comments on that podcast.
Of course, we have to make sure that the killer is brought to justice. And importantly, we have to talk about this incredibly destructive movement of left-wing extremism that has grown up over the last few years. And I believe is part of the reason why Charlie was killed by an assassin's bullet. We're going to talk about how to dismantle that and how to bring real unity that can only come when we tell the truth and everybody knows that they can speak their mind about the issues of the day without being cut down by a murderer's gun.
The plan there is to dismantle anything that the Trump administration deems to be left-wing. He's talking about dismantling. What's he talking about dismantling? There's not actually some big left-wing terror network. Doesn't exist. What they're going to say is that a whole range of organizations, ranging from liberal to the left, are radicalizing people into violence, and therefore they need to be dismantled. That's where we're going here. Indeed, both J.D. Vance and Donald Trump have announced they will target George Soros' Open Society foundations. We should note that George Soros is the bête noire of the Hungarian regime, which demonized the Hungarian-born financier as a sinister Jewish puppet master behind the opposition. And that was a crucial element in terms of that demonization of how the Hungarian regime shut down democracy. Listen now to what Trump says here.
You plan on designating Antifa finally a domestic terror organization?
Well, it's something I would do, yeah. If I have support from the people back here, I think we'd start with Pam, I think. But I would, if you give me, I would do that 100%, and others also. But
well, Antifa doesn't exist. It doesn't exist as an organization. It's just a label denoting groups or people with an anti-fascist orientation. It means anti-fascist. It means anti-fascism. This is just a pretext for a broad-based crackdown on anything the administration labels as Antifa or somehow supportive of Antifa. Indeed, you can hear how far that crackdown is intended to go.
You can see they're professional agitators. I had one the other night. I had 4 the other night, all in one group, total phonies. I started to scream when I got into a restaurant, oh, you know, something with Palestine. And I said, well, I'm doing a great job for peace in the Middle East. I should get lots of awards for that, right? With the Abraham Accords and everything else. But a woman just stood up and started screaming. And she got booed out of the place, too. The people, there were a lot of people in the restaurant. I went there to show how safe, and it was safe. I mean, the woman is just a mouthpiece. All she was a paid agitator. And you have a lot of them. And I've asked Pam to look into that in terms of RICO, bringing RICO cases against it, criminal RICO, because they should be put in jail. What they're doing to this country is really subversive. Yeah.
So what's he saying here? Anyone heckling a Republican politician, anyone heckling Donald Trump will get sent to prison?
Yes, isn't he?
Not really pretending that the First Amendment exists anymore, are they? Donald Trump references here Pam Bondi. She's the Attorney General. Let's listen to what she said.
There's free speech and then there's hate speech. And there is no place, especially now, especially after what happened to Charlie, in our society.
Do you see more law enforcement going after these groups who are using hate speech and putting cuffs on people so we show them that some action is better than no action?
We will absolutely target you, go after you, if you are targeting anyone with hate speech, anything. And that's across the aisle.
This is quite something, isn't it? The right spent years saying there was no such thing as hate speech, portraying it as a cynical left-wing ploy to shut down their freedom of speech. But now they're not only using hate speech as a term, they're using it as a catch-all term for criticism from their political opponents. Hate speech now doesn't mean, for example, whipping up racist hatred against minorities with all the violent consequences that actually objectively has. It means saying things which are critical of those in power. I'll prove my point very shortly. I just want to quote something someone once said. Let me just quote it. Hate speech does not exist legally in America. There's ugly speech, there's gross speech, there's evil speech, and all of it is protected by the First Amendment. Keep America free. That was Charlie Kirk tweeting on the 3rd of May, 2024. Let's also remember, of course, how J.D. Vance went to Europe 6 months ago to lecture the continent on free speech. Do you remember that? By hate speech, the administration clearly means being scrutinized. Listen to Donald Trump here talking to an ABC reporter.
And what do you make Pam Bondi saying she's going to go after hate speech? Is that, I mean, a lot of your allies say hate speech is free speech.
She'll probably go after people like you because you treat me so unfairly. It's hate. You have a lot of hate in your heart. Maybe they'll come after ABC. Well, ABC paid me $16 million recently for a form of hate speech, right? Your company paid me $16 million for a form of hate speech. So maybe they'll have to go after you.
No subtlety here, is there? Trump is openly talking about using a crackdown on what is described as hate speech, by which he means things said about him he doesn't like, to shut down those media outlets. I mean, that's what he's menacing them with. He's menacing them with a legal crackdown for saying things about him he objects to. This is, of course, a straightforward dictatorship. That's what they're planning. Let's listen to this other contribution from the Attorney General.
That's horrific. It's free speech, but you shouldn't be employed anywhere if you're going to say that. And employers, you have an obligation to get rid of people. You need to look at people who are saying horrible things, and they shouldn't be working with you. Businesses cannot discriminate. If you want to go in and print posters with Charlie's pictures on them for a vigil, you have to let them do that. We can prosecute you for that. I have Harmeet Dillon right now in our civil rights unit looking at that immediately, that Office Depot had done that. We're looking at that.
What happened to cancel culture, guys? She's proposing here a state-endorsed mass sacking of people expressing political opinions the state doesn't like. That actually is cancel culture. Nothing like that existed. You know, when they were talking about cancel culture before, you didn't have the Attorney General of the United States calling for the mass sacking of people with right-wing opinions. That never happened. That's way beyond anything. They were talking about a kind of cultural phenomenon where people who said hateful things, for example, would then face employment. You know, they'd lose their jobs. Now, as it happens, I don't believe that that kind of approach, as a general rule, is obviously how we deal with racism and hatred and all the rest of it. Although, you know, the point is here, there is a difference, a distinct difference between, you know, people being fired for saying hateful things about minorities and the state advocating the mass sacking of people for including for political opinions. Because people might go, well, some of these people were dancing on the grave of Charlie Kirk, and that really is beyond the line. But that doesn't just include that. It includes people who condemned the murder of Charlie Kirk, but then condemned his political opinions as well. That is simply expressing an opinion which they do not like. It's very clear what's happening here. Donald Trump is the head of a far-right administration brimming with far-right ideologues who want to crush democracy, crush dissent, and forge an overtly authoritarian state. There was always going to be a scenario where there would be some sort of crisis or incident of some description to accelerate the plans they already have. And they were already doing their best to shred democracy. With all its flaws, America is a democracy which is rigged in favor of plutocrats and millionaires and billionaires, the sorts of people like Donald Trump, the people who fund Donald Trump. But this is what's happening now. And with every coming incident or event, they're going to accelerate those plans even further. Now, what does that mean, for example, for the midterm elections? I do not believe they're going to end up being free or fair elections. The Democrats, alas, are led by impotent, useless leaders who have no fight, and it falls to the US left to fight back instead. The likes, for example, of Zoran Mamdani, who's standing to become Democratic mayor of New York. My concern is Trump already has his sights on Mamdani. He's threatening, for example, to cut off funds to New York if he's elected, and indeed to take over the city directly. No hyperbole is required here. The threat of far-right dictatorship hangs over the United States, and time is running out. Please like and subscribe. Help us take on this, you know, far-right menace, as well as, of course, a far-right administration which is bankrolling genocide. At patreon.com/OwenJones84. We don't, all the work that we do is because of you. We're not funded by these far-right billionaires, clearly. I'm finishing my book at the moment called The Fall of the West. Need to get that finished before the West just falls completely. There's a chapter on the rise of the far right and other things. So I will get that done and then focus back on the video project, but I need to get that done. Also have a documentary coming up on Palestine very soon. Please like and subscribe, leave your thoughts and comments, share the video. I'll speak to you in a bit.
Thank you, Owen. That was amazing. If you're not already, go and follow our lovely little Owen. He is awesome. Even though he's only 5 years younger than me. So, Owen Jones 84, that's the year he was born. So, my cat 79's birthday. That's the year I was born. I am the eldest, by the way, if anyone was interested. I do go to him. I use him as a source. I like him. He's really good. His stuff on Palestine, fucking awesome. Love him, and he gets brilliant people onto his show. Brilliant. Love it. I don't know if we're speaking to fuck, I knew I'd remember. Lamy, Ed Davey, Hassam Zomlot, the Palestinian representative sent to UK. So he's the Palestinian representative here in the UK. He's on Laura in the morning. And the cultural part of it is Alicia Vikander and Andrew Lincoln. Hopefully he's turning. He is being rather warm and giving lots of space for Zach Polanski, which I do appreciate because Zach is fucking amazing, obviously. Oh, oh, I've not went to them for fucking ages. Ah, motherfucker. Yeah, just got it wired. Let's see if I can find someone from my discipline. I'll get back to you later, Daniel. Thank you.
Google is everywhere online, from Gmail to Maps, YouTube, search. You can't go online without interacting with Google in some way. And while pretty much everybody knows that Google
No, 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 tech support, what will be, there's also complete, hmm, so this might be that one then. Tech required, really? Oh, 5 years ago. Okay.
The virus mutates. Get that to the lab and call CDC.
My name is Brian Ammon. Brian is an ecologist for the CDC, specializing in infectious diseases. Today, I'm breaking down clips from movies and television about pandemics. I'd like to go on record that I love all these movies. I don't want to come across as I'm not a fan, because I am. Small town outbreak from the movie Outbreak.
Get the supply, bring him in.
What could be holding them up?
I don't know.
There they are now.
Ray Fowler, Chief of Police. This is Mayor Gaddis. This one has so many flaws. You see people.
I am with Brian. Oh, oh, look. Wrong pipe. Told you I've got a horrible gag reflex. Fucking hell. Ow. Oh god, that's burning now. Fuck. Christ's sake. Let me just, we'll get back to that in a minute. Let me just explain what happened there so people might know how to react if you see this happening to someone you know, someone nearby, blah, blah, whatever, family member, friend, someone in job, blah, blah. Because of the gag reflex, it was already going down. It was entering the esophagus, which is the food pipe, the intake, if you wish, where all the food and drink and stuff goes down into. The gag reflex, because I was talking and started laughing, brought it back up and it went down the trachea, which is the windpipe, which just doesn't do intake, it does outtake, blah, blah, blah. So that's the windpipe that goes down into the lungs. So it came back up and went down into the trachea. And you saw me choking there, which is, yeah. Yeah, yuck, but ow. Both the esophagus, the food pipe, and the trachea, the windpipe, are now burning because there's always other stuff in both of them for obvious reasons. So now it's burning, so the back of my mouth and down to about here is burning. It is not nice. And yes, yuck. Ugh. Danger of having a horrible gag, a rather strong gag reflex. I should be really careful when I'm talking or laughing because that happens quite a lot to me. And because of peristalsis, the muscles that actually control both of those, they kind of freeze up because of nerve things. So the signaling going to them to say, do this thing now, they get kind of cut off and struggle breathing. Not good. So now we're both burning. Ouch. I've actually had that happen while I've been in seeing my GP. I'm a rheumatologist a couple of times, which is rather fun. Right, my speciality. And this film here, Outbreak, is one of the main reasons I got interested in viruses and how people get sick when I was a teenager. So, 95? 96? This came out in the mid-90s, Outbreak, with Dustin Hoffman, Rennie Russo, Kevin Spacey. Cuba Gooding Jr. as well.
People shaking hands, and that doesn't occur
Morgan
in an
Freeman.
outbreak area. If there is some kind of a greeting, it's usually elbow to elbow. The PPE, personal protective equipment, is reasonably accurate. We don't go into a place wearing helmets and hazmat suits like that, but the PAPRs, air purifying respirators that they have on their waists are PAPRs that we have used in the past. And the whole point of the powered air is that you have positive pressure inside the head cover. It's pushing air out and nothing can come in.
So many.
They go from this right here with a full hazmat suit and a helmet to guys with surgical masks. You notice that she's not wearing any eye protection and the guy directly behind her is. So one of the little details that if this were truly a filovirus outbreak and this was an isolation ward, they would all have a face shield or eye protection. Some gloves, some others without gloves. It's total chaos. It's a mess. That's pure Hollywood fiction.
Apparently they all got it at a movie theater.
Smallpox ER.
When did the rash start?
3 days ago.
Let me move you to a private room. Can you take Adam? Follow me quickly. What is it? It's just a precaution. Excuse me, coming through here. I think I got 2 cases of smallpox.
Oh my God.
Dun dun dun. This is a tad on the far-fetched side because smallpox was eradicated in 1980.
They have a vaccine for it now. The CDC should have a stockpile of it.
All the smallpox that exist in the world are in freezers in really secure labs.
Smallpox has.
Fun fact, I was one of the last to get the smallpox virus, the vaccine, when I was a wee tot. We just thought, fuck it, we're getting rid of this. We're just going to consign this fucking virus to history. By secure labs, I mean there's 4 that I know of. 2 are here in Britain, by the way. Fun. Destroy those now. I've been saying this since I started my degree, which was 23 years ago now. 23 years ago. I had to stop doing my degree 21 years ago because of health reasons. But 23 years ago, I was still saying this. I said this to my lead fucking professor for my degree course. Why do we still have these stocks? Tell the fucking British government to destroy their stocks and get the Americans to do the fucking same. Apparently, Russia doesn't have any. I am skeptical. It got eradicated in 1980. There was good things about the Soviet system. Good things did happen. Women got education. We were allowed to get educated, things like that. We were more civilly involved, which was amazing. Towards that point, from like 80 onwards, but Putin has said they don't have any stock, so basically vaccinated smallpox. Don't trust them. The West, meaning us and Western Europe and the Americans, we think they do have stock, so smallpox, but we can't get actual proof. Because when we went to them and said, do you have stockpiles of these viruses, these things that can be turned into like bioweapons, and said, no, of course not, we never had any to begin with, which is a lie because the Soviets did. So we can't trust Putin. Funny that. You would not be carrying a child who is infected with smallpox like that through a crowded fucking A&E or ER there in America. So pure fiction, yet again. Smallpox is one of the most communicable diseases. It is not nice. The way we managed to eradicate it for a fucking reason because it was deadly. We were trying to do the same with measles. And I'll just leave it at that. Measles is the most communicable virus known to man, like naturally occurring. There is other bioweapons that countries have made. I don't have conclusive proof, but I suspect. Basically, me saying, trust me, bro. I don't have proof. You don't need to believe me if you don't want to. But smallpox is incredibly fucking dangerous. We don't get to use that in university studies. We deal with other viruses, more ones that are not as communicable.
Been eradicated.
I heard the Russians had some on ice. If a terrorist group got a hold of it.
Shut up, Jerry.
And for this to actually have happened, there would have to have been some kind of a very, very serious breach in security.
Damn, I should have called in sick today.
We're going to look at a couple of scenes from Contagion, and here's where they explain the spread of the virus.
Here is a model of the virus and how it attaches to its host. The blue is virus, and the gold is human, and the red is the viral attachment protein, and the green is its receptor in the human cells.
It is available. This computer software is able to form sort of a three-dimensional image of the virus itself, and they can identify through sequencing which parts of the virus are the receptors where it binds to the human cell, which parts are coding for certain proteins that cause illness or replication.
And we've sequenced the virus and determined its origin, and we've modeled the way it enters the cells of the lung and the brain.
Very accurate in terms of being able to pinpoint certain areas of the genome that will have certain effects on the human or on the virus or even the cell that it's infecting.
The virus contains both bat and pig sequences in the bottom right, and here you can see the crossover event, bat, and pig, bat.
I haven't heard the term crossover. When the virus leaves the host and enters an organism that's not a host, it's called spillover. As the spillover events occur, and with the multiple times this virus is replicating, they're looking at these mutations as this thing has been going along. That's actually something they can do. Animals spreading disease, Contagion. Very accurate, especially the not hand washing thing. There was an Ebola Reston outbreak in the Philippines at a pig farm. We now have evidence that bats are a possible host for Reston virus. Flew to the pig farm, and then it was found in the pigs in a sample that was shipped to Plum Island. Outbreak has a ton of problems. Let's take a look at the scene with the monkey.
Here, Betsy. Here, girl. Betsy, come on.
That monkey deserves an Oscar. I don't know where to begin. What can I talk about? The fact that that's a South American monkey that they caught in Africa?
Well, it's something at least, maybe it's enough.
Part of my job at the CDC is to catch animals, take samples, and test them for viruses. The monkey is a capuchin monkey not found in Africa. It would be some other green monkey like a vervet or something else like that.
Here, Betsy.
We wouldn't use a live person as bait, let alone a child. We actually study reservoir ecology, know their habits, know their habitat, and know how to catch them. You know, a monkey could technically bite someone and have virus in the saliva, but generally speaking, they're so sick and they just kind of lay there and die.
You won't hurt her.
No, she just go to sleep for a little while.
In Contagion, they really got it right. Here, they did not. Virus choosing the host, World War Z.
Viruses don't choose the host. They are not sentient. There's a whole debate whether they're actually alive or not, whether they can be classed as a living organism. I say no. That is my opinion from my studies at uni. They're a virion. They're basically just a packaged up DNA sequence. That's what they do. They replicate. In that fact, they can be classed as alive. That's why so many people still fucking debate about it. We cannot make a consensus on this. I doubt we ever will. But viruses are deadly. They're horrible. They make us ill. They kill us. Blah blah blah. They spread quite fast, depending on what the virus is. So, I say we're alive. I think, therefore, I am, and all that stuff. That's more Scribby's realm. Philosophy. Am I alive? Do I exist? Is this reality? I say yes. Yes, this is reality. Mostly. Maybe a hellscape. I think we can agree on that one. Do viruses live? Technically, yes. And technically, no. Depends who you ask.
He's infecting himself with another pathogen in hopes that this zombie would pass him by, or the virus in the zombie would pass him by. I like the idea. It gets to essentially the goal of a virus. It wants to find a host that it can continue to replicate its genetic material indefinitely.
That's not the question we're really asking, is it?
It's fiction, of course, because a virus isn't going to smell if a guy's sick, be able to tell if this guy has cancer, and therefore I don't want to infect that. It can't choose. Global pandemic in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Source of the virus was traced back to drug testing done at Genesis Laboratories in San Francisco.
A patient showing signs of what's being dubbed the simian flu.
The CDC is projecting a fatality toll ranging from 5 million to as many as 150 million in the next 6 to 8 months.
Theoretically, that's how things will happen. Those red lines look kind of like, you know, air travel pathways. And then having interactions with individuals within an airport, you can't avoid some type of personal space invasion. It's a very plausible scenario.
A lab technician, now known as Patient Zero, was accidentally exposed to retrovirus ALZ-113.
In this clip, they say Patient Zero, and that's not something that we typically use in my field. We tend to use what we call an index patient, the individual that has first been identified to have whatever virus it is, or disease caused by whatever virus it is. This clip is about virus mutation from the television show House.
An infant picks up a regular old measles virus. He gets a rash. He's extremely uncomfortable, has a wicked fever, but he lives.
Well, the animation is not extremely accurate.
Why do people lie to me?
Because the measles virus is an RNA virus, and that's a piece of DNA.
Couldn't we get off my screw-ups and focus on theirs?
Once every million or so times, the virus mutates. And
This explosion is not accurate.
Again, why are we getting hung up on what I did?
What happens is just sort of an error in the copying of the nucleotide bases.
Instead of Dan having a fever and a rash, the virus travels to his brain and hides for 16 years.
Subacute sclerosing panencephalitis.
Dawson's disease is an actual disease, and it is basic sort of a leftover from having a measles virus infection. So that part is true.
It's a sick brain.
Zombie infection, The Walking Dead.
Vi, scan forward to the first event.
Scanning to first event.
I was literally still at uni when that episode aired, and it was super happy. God bless him, I love him desperately. And he was saying, keep calm. Katie, please, my darling, keep calm. I can't, no, fucking no. So this bit essentially is meant to be in the CDC in Atlanta. It isn't. It's a made up set, by the way. You do not get access to the CDCP, by the way. So it's the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, by the way. So sorry, Hobby Horse name. That's not Atlanta. Sorry. Filming was done in the Atlanta area for this episode. They did get that bit right. They were in Atlanta for some scenes. But that's not the CDC.
There's no artificial intelligence at the CDC. There are auditoriums at the CDC, but they don't look like this.
The brain goes into shutdown, then the major organs. It invades the brain like meningitis.
Meningitis is more the condition, and here they're making it seem like it's some sort of a pathogen.
Scan to the second event.
I've never used the word event.
Just a shell driven by mindless instinct.
In severe accidents, I would imagine that that's a possibility. I think technically you'd probably be declared brain dead.
What is that?
There'd be some electrical activity there. I don't think you could see it like that.
What was that?
This looks like pure CGI to me.
We protected the public from very nasty stuff.
Infection in the hospital, the movie Outbreak.
Dr. Daniels?
Yeah.
There's something I think you should see. This way. The patient was admitted a week ago after a car accident. He's had no contact with anyone in isolation.
You can stop that there, because he just now had contact with that individual in isolation. Truly, this guy should know better. The guy pokes his head into the isolation ward, says, "Doctor," pulls the guy out. They walk down a clean hallway directly into a patient's room. With Ebola outbreaks, it would be an entire disinfection process before you even came out of that. Probably get sprayed down, some sort of a disinfectant, take all of the PPE off, possibly even shower depending on where they were. By doing this, they just walked in with filthy PPE and potentially contaminated everything in the hallway that they just walked down. That would never happen.
It's airborne.
If you're dealing with a virus that's similar to one that's already known and you know how it's transmitted, there would be a lot of things to go check before you just say it's airborne. I would be very suspicious. Protective gear in pandemic.
So have you seen what's out there?
Not lately. I have a rational fear of dying.
This goes up and over.
How's it feel?
I have a healthy respect of shuffling off this mortal coil. We all do. There's only one constant. They keep on saying there's two things that happen in life: death, taxes. The second one can get changed, obviously. As far as I'm aware, as of the 21st of September 2025, Glasgow, Scotland, we will die at some point. We might be able to change that. We might be able to live longer. Who knows? Depends on your genetics, I guess. I fear of dying unnecessarily. That might be a little bit more accurate for my worldview.
Heavy.
This is obviously the military and not CDC, but the personal protective equipment is similar to what we use. We have coveralls as well. They're Tyvek, they're impervious to water and other fluids, and that face shield keeps you from sticking your dirty fingers in your eye or in your ear, you know, whatever the case may be. This looks similar to what we wear in the field.
Your nose.
Now let's take a look at ET.
Elliot thinks it's thoughts.
No, Elliot feels his feelings.
The part where they decontaminate before coming in doesn't make a tremendous amount of sense. You want to decontaminate coming out. And I've never been decontaminated with fog. It's usually a chemical shower to make sure that you are decontaminated.
I think you get more information with swan gangs.
Fine, let's do it on the floor.
These hoses would technically be connected to some sort of a fan that would draw air through a filter and put clean air into their hoods. I don't see the hoses connected to anything, not a respirator or anything.
Leave him alone, I can take care of him.
You can imagine, I'm not saying it's real, there's no cover up, an alien landing on the earth with its own set of viruses that doesn't bother it, that could just, you know, wreak havoc on a community. I would be there in a heartbeat because that would be the coolest thing ever. Just imagine what kind of neat viruses you could find in an alien. You might even get to name him. That's how cool that would be. The plague in-house.
Get that to the lab and call a CDC. Tell them what? We have a patient with the plague.
Yeah, I mean, there's cases of plague. It's mostly bubonic throughout the Southwest. But he's in there knowing this patient has the plague, and he takes out a syringe that's been in the room with the patient, and he pulls the cap off with his mouth. And then he withdraws a sample and hands the sharp to a colleague, which is something you don't do. A needle or scissors or pointy forceps, even broken glass, we call sharps. And typically in the work that we do in the labs, sharps is handled by pretty much just one person. You'd never see a handoff of a needle like that. So that part was bad.
Oh no, where'd it go? Where'd it go?
Here's another zombie movie, World War Z. Absolutely getting blood in your mouth is a way to get an infectious disease. Bodily fluids coming into contact with mucous membranes.
Stay back!
You notice that he stood on the edge.
You would never get me doing what Brad Pitt is doing right there. I wouldn't get vertigo, scared of heights. In an air imbalance, I get very fucking dizzy. I hate heights. I would not be doing that. I'd fucking fall off. Plus, zombies everywhere. Well, I'm not going to make a political comment because I'm a girl's girl. What? I can't remember the character's name. Me and Super Happy went to see this in the cinema, by the way. Parts of it were filmed here in Glasgow. It was fun. We made millions. It was cool. We, parts of the city centre, round about George Square and stuff, round about where my university is actually, the University of Strathclyde, if you're interested. So parts of this film were filmed here. So round about George Square and surrounding streets and stuff were basically getting used by the production. A month and a half, maybe a month, something like that, they were here for. So we had about slightly under 1,000, all told, like different types of people, production units. Brad Pitt was in Glasgow. Fucking amazing. And so were the other people you saw in that shot.
Knows that he's been exposed, and a lot of people that work with these viruses, myself included, if we have an exposure, we're not going to keep it quiet. We have a responsibility to the public. We'll self-isolate. We'll make sure that we're not sick, and if we are sick, we'll go into isolation. And we certainly wouldn't stand on the edge of a building waiting to throw ourselves off, but, you know, you get the idea.
I got it in my mouth.
You're okay.
Decontamination in the Andromeda strain.
We start decontamination and immunization procedures now.
Place the metal helmet securely on the head. You will notice a fine white ash on your body. This is the outer epithelial layers of your skin that have been burned away.
That's completely science fiction, and nobody in their right mind would let themselves get cooked to the point where their outer layer of epithelium is turned to ash. I mean, that's the definition of, a giant sunburn.
We face quite a problem. How to disinfect the human body, one of the dirtiest things in the known universe.
Hard on the taxpayers, isn't it, the way we burn up uniforms?
Depends what they're made of. The actual physical clothing part of it, not the equipment side of it. You can produce them, and it can be very effective, but you can produce them rather quickly and easily, cheaply mostly, for whatever role that you are doing. The main part of it is getting in the positive air from either a massive hood and the thing you saw in the back and in the outbreak clip earlier on, or other ones that are hooked up to a bigger machine within the ward area where the people are where the patients are in isolation. That's how it happened. With people who are working for Medicine Sans Frontières or the Doctors Without Borders during the Ebola outbreak in parts of West Africa. There was massive air pumps that were hooked up, that people were hooked into. I think 2 or 3 people could be hooked up to it at the same time, delivering that positive air pressure to that person, to that specialist, that doctor, that nurse, that ecologist with outbreak. Right, I'm taking a guess. 1976 for the Andromeda strain, the movie, not the book. By the way, it's a book. I've read the book. It is a rather good book. And hold on. Oh my god, that was a little bit out there. 1971 for the film, for the Andromeda strain. Fuck it, while I'm here. I said 95, didn't I? Ha! Victory! 95 for Outbreak. I was with an 18, 16-year-old. My god. I saw that in Perth Cinema. Yes, some of these movies and TV shows made me irrationally angry and I started yelling at the telly. And when it comes to disability or what my mum done, she was a midwife and a healthcare worker for 40 years, 38 years as a midwife, by the way.
And in a lot of the clips that we've reviewed
yelling.
today, you see this decontamination process occurring before they go into an infectious area or into a lab. And it's always just the opposite for us. You want to clean yourself off before you come out into an area where the virus isn't. Martial law, the crazies.
They're checking for elevated temperatures.
I'm a sheriff. She's a doctor.
We don't force people into treatment facilities. We try to coax them in there. We don't have any regulatory authority where we can arrest people and throw them in a cage or anything like that. Aside from the separating the people part, temperature is a good way to identify someone with a fever and is a common practice. One of the things that was incorrect here is that they were actually sticking the thermometer probe in the ear. That would never happen. You don't touch the individual because you're just transmitting from one person to the next.
Can you just tell us what's going on?
What they use is handheld thermometers, and they'd point it at your temple, and they'd hold it a few inches away, and they'd get a reading that way.
Oh, I was just going to let that play out for a few minutes. Most people in their home, I would recommend, we've got an in-ear one, but there's only 2 people in this household, which is fine. And we have covers that you put on them as well when you're checking your temperature. And checking people's temperature is rather difficult. The definition of is 3 degrees above what your base level is, but everyone's base level is fucking different. Mine's, I always run a little bit hotter because I've got autoimmune diseases. My immune system is fucking mental, essentially. My base temperature is 35.8 to 36.6, essentially. So that's my sort of range. So 3 above that would be classed as kind of warm. 5 degrees is what they class it. 5 degrees above what your base temperature is. So for me to have that, I'd be 40 plus. I'd be above 40 Celsius or centigrade. But it's different for everyone. Super happy. I point symbolically because his armchair is just over there. 8 to 10 feet away from where I'm sitting. His base temperature is 34. He is a lot colder than me. His temperature, when he's went into hospital to get certain things checked, has been 32.4. There's been warmer corpses, really. He is an oddity, let's put it that way. I always run a little bit hotter. At one point in my life, my base temperature, which they tracked throughout the year, they brought me in at least once a month and checked, and my base temperature was 38.5, which was above what used to be when we ran a little bit hotter globally, certain types of people with issues and other people, but we've got rid of the low level infections essentially. So like coughs, colds, lung infections, throat infections, things of that nature. They're on the decline, so people's temperatures are coming down by like half a degree to a degree. Mine's has moved down by 2 degrees essentially, which is a good thing, but still kind of hot because of my health issues. My sister keeps on checking up on me. Okay, do a reading. She usually calls me up and gets me to do that. I'm going every 2 or 3 months, essentially. What is it? 35.4. Right, you're fine. I don't know why she keeps on checking. She's got other patients to worry about, really. She worries about me, which is nice. I do appreciate that. Thank you, darling. She's more worried about me fucking up my bones. I do kind of break easily. What's she gonna do?
That's not correct. She's being wheeled through. They're seeing bloody gurneys being passed by, and
Pure Hollywood. That needs burnt. That entire gurney. Or patient trolley, if you wish. Whatever you call it. Gurney. Okay. That needs destroyed. Burn it now. Thank you. What the fuck kind of get-up is that? He looks like this slab. That is from an episode of Doctor Who. That was the first one with Martha Jones. He looks like a slab. I like that. The scenes with some of the slabs quite fun.
isolation facilities
David
are
Tennant, by the
typically
way.
more of a hospital care type of setting. It's not going to be under armed guard.
This is really happening.
You wouldn't be left to let your imagination run wild, and there would be some explanation as to what's going to happen and how you'll be cared for.
It's gonna be all right. We're gonna be okay.
Let's look at a similar scene in I Am Legend.
You're clear. Move ahead. Clear.
You're clear. Next. Clear. Good.
If there was some way to detect an abnormality that was a symptom of infection in the eye, that's why they'd be using that. They're not touching the individual with the actual scope, although their hands are all over people and it's a giant crowd.
No good. No good. I am Lieutenant Colonel Robert Neville. I'm ordering you to scan her again. Scan her again.
It's clear.
This is obviously fiction. After that, we would have done many more scans to make sure that she was in fact negative. These kinds of scans, the temperature and the eye thing that you saw in this clip, can detect symptoms of infection. They can't really definitively say that you are infected.
What am I doing?
There are some mechanisms now that are more rapid than just your traditional PCR that can turn around test results very quickly, but they're not on-site kind of things. It's requiring some sort of a blood sample that's taken back to a lab. So just simply scanning them can't tell you basically anything other than they're feeling sick. You'll always want to follow up a scan like a temperature with a blood test to identify that that person is either infected with Ebola, Marburg, filovirus, or it's something else. Zombie bite, the girl with all the gifts.
Do you want to redose her?
Yes, yes, Jane. That would be extremely helpful.
Yeah, that was quick. You may have got a pretty decent sized dose of virus in whatever infection mechanism you just encountered. But it takes time for the virus to locate the target cell, inject its own RNA or DNA into the cell, and then disseminate throughout the body. Generally speaking, it doesn't happen in 10 or 15 seconds. The doctor picks up a shard of glass and starts stabbing one of the zombies in the head, presumably getting fluid in the cuts in her hand, and she didn't get infected. You can't have it both ways. Or maybe she's one of those immune people.
Emphatically not.
Another zombie virus in 28 weeks later.
Oh, God.
Kissing is a great way to get a virus. I mean, there's no question about that. But it wouldn't happen that quickly. Incubation periods for some viruses can be days, weeks, or even months. I love the movie, but it's still fiction. Here's more protective gear again in SNL.
The fault in our stars too. The Ebola in our everything.
No, you wouldn't be able to have a relationship having to dress that way all the time. That would get old.
She wants to have sex.
Hell no.
Levels of infection, pandemic.
Is level 2. The hemorrhaging begins. Level 3. Patient secretes black necrotic blood from prolonged internal hemorrhaging.
I've never seen an isolation ward look like this. There is some level of security, and it's mostly to keep people out. You keep people that are suspect cases separate from people that are confirmed cases.
And here's level 4. Look at these two. They come together in love. But the first one to wake up will kill the other one and not know why.
It's not anything like level 1, level 2. For the most part, what you've got is a tent, or let's say a hospital ward that's probably filled up pretty quickly, and you're not going to have the luxury of having that kind of space. Robot lab in Resident Evil. At the CDC, there are robotic machines. You'll have things that it moves it under and it dips, and it moves it under and it dips, and that's the robot part of it. As we call it the robot, but it's not, the Robbie the robot kind of thing. It's more of an automated extraction machine.
Plus those robot arms that you see, there's always someone, there's always a person, there's always an individual who's actually programming it, telling it what to do. Is working on the code that we give it to do whatever thing is. There's always a human that's working these things, but there's been a massive question right now because Trump and the administration is cutting all the fucking funding because RFK Jr. is a fucking lunatic.
Yeah, we don't use glass vials in the high containment laboratories for that exact reason, although I suspect that was done intentionally. Blood test from the thing.
We're gonna draw a little bit of everybody's blood. We're gonna find out who's the thing. We'll do you last.
I love this film. It is amazing. The creature, or the thing, in some forms hideous looking, and in some forms fucking terrifying. It is a film. I do like it. It is one of my favourites. But what they're about to do here, pure fiction, it doesn't work like that. Thank you. Mind you, in saying that, they are dealing with an alien life form.
God, I hate it when my flamethrower doesn't work. There's visible blood tests. The best example is malaria. You can look at a blood sample under a microscope and actually see the parasite infecting the cell. To have a reaction like that, though, where the blood jumps out of the petri dish and runs away, I mean, it's cool, but this is pure sci-fi. The lab in the hot zone.
No one goes into level 4 alone. I'll be scanning you head to toe for anything that could let contaminated particles in. All right, just breathe. Breathe through it.
What are you doing?
I'm checking your pupils. Signs of panic.
Entry into an HCL, if we're talking to people, we usually say the HCL or the high containment lab. If you were panicking like that, putting the suit on, the chances are you would never go inside. You've got a continual flow of fresh air, and it's not panic inducing.
Welcome to the hot zone.
No, we don't ever call it the hot zone. It's the lab. I would like to point out, though, they didn't decontaminate going in. That part they got right. Conclusion. I guess the idea of a pandemic can really bring out the fear and the panic in people, but they tend to be not nearly as uncontrollable as Hollywood makes it seem. A lot of the work that the CDC does is to make sure that disease outbreaks like this don't ever get to the stage of a global pandemic. The viruses that you've seen in these clips are basically Hollywood fiction, and the real life viruses that are out there are hardly ever, if at all, as fast acting as what you've just seen in these clips. Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
I will be back momentarily, comrades. Yeah. Oh God, my leg got stuck. Oh, Flipper, come here. Yes, crap. one here. I've got two people here. I'm up for uh, hmm. Fuck it. Where do I find it? Did someone put it in Kev's Discord? Give me a second, everyone. I hate having to deal with this absolute fucking idiot, but fuck it. Student suggestions? Huh. Live chat maybe? Is it news chat? Which is down here. News chat. Oh, that was me. I posted that one. I remember that one. Where'd it be in here? That was a while ago. Huh? Mother. I hate having to go into Otis fucking channel. Was it Vosh Pit? No, Vosh Pit.
All of the content that I do on my stream is revealed to me in prophecy and dream.
Hmm. Awesome.
They're going to cut the NHS? Yeah, it sounds about right. The health secretary also admitted there would be significant job losses, adding that he was, quote, genuinely sorry that people working for NHS England would be, quote, deeply anxious about their jobs. Hey, pardon me if I've forgotten this. Can somebody remind me, is there any vertical integration in the NHS, or is it just another, like, Medicaid, Medicare kind of thing, where the
Government funding. There is private provision. There is private provision within the NHS. If it's mostly public provision up here in Scotland, Vosh. At least it's only 21 minutes long. I'm sorry to expose everyone to Bosch, but this kind of misinformation needs combated, especially about my beloved NHS. It's my NHS, by the way. Mine's. Bosch, you're an absolute fucking idiot. Please do not speak about what happens here in the UK. Just don't. You're usually wrong, but more than likely wrong.
The government just pays private corporations for all of their services, medicine, etc., etc. No, it's run by the state, right? So as in the state is producing the medicine, not buying it off private corporations. The state is not just paying the doctors, but all the...
We buy the medicine from pharmaceutical companies, but because of collective bargaining, basically, we go to them saying, we have blah amount of patients, and we are willing to give you blah amount of money for this type of medication or that type of medication because we are buying in bulk for our citizens. It's all being delineated now. It's trust, and it's public trusts, but it's still trust status basically. There used to be a central bank authority. When we got our parliament up here, health got devolved. It is devolved, so it's the four administrations essentially. So England, Wales, Northern Ireland, here in Scotland, they're all separate now. We buy for all of Scotland. We still have trust, but we have a central bank authority to get all the medications and all the things that we need. That is still bought by the Scottish government in bulk from the people who manufacture the things, either the drugs, the equipment, and all those things like PPE and all that blah blah blah. To think what you consumables that get used and medications that people like me take. In this bag and in a box behind me over there. So it's bought centrally up here. There is trusts, and they negotiate with the pharmaceutical companies for the pills that they need for the patients in their local trust area. Should never have got rid of the central buying authority since we have that. We've got that up here in Scotland, and so does Wales. The Northern Ireland's weird.
The services they get and the resources they get. The government owns the NHS. No, I'm not asking if they own the NHS, not the pharma. Okay, so they own the services, not the pharma. No, Vosh, no, that's wrong. That's remarkably unhelpful. You work for the state. I know that. I'm talking about you'll have a government-owned hospital with public sector doctors, but maybe the X-ray department's outsourced. There we go. The outsourcing. Yeah, how much it's privatized. And how much does the NHS even cost? Like, if you're keeping everything in sector like that, or most things, you're only making stuff more expensive by privatizing it, which I guess they've been rapidly privatizing it. Total NHS spending. Okay, the National Health Service is addicted to overspending, Wes Streeting said. But in like what way? In
2020... Wes was kind of telling the truth and kind of lying. It's different for each constituent part of the UK, boss. And I want to debate you about this. It is separate. It's separate for all the constituent parts, by the way. That's why you shouldn't be fucking talking about it. Okay? Please? Can you hear me? And Wes, you have no healthcare knowledge. You done PPE at uni. They did, which was fucking stupid. We have that kind of a little bit, but we buy wholesale for Scotland. We don't we don't do what yous lot have to do down in England, which is stupid as fuck. There was a central buying authority before we started selling off parts of it under Major, and it got ramped up by ding 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 Tony Blair and Gordon Brown, who needs pushes in the balls. What kind of fucking Scotsman are you? Thank you. It should never have been allowed to happen. I was working when it went to trust status. I just left school and I just started working in quick service supermarket. Working in supermarket. Fuck, I was a checkout over here. So everything went to trust status, and there was a consultation into whether we keep the central buying authority when we got Holyrood. We said, no, we'll keep the central buying authority for NHS Scotland, and we kept ours, yours didn't. Each of your individual trusts have to negotiate with all your providers for whatever thing, be it medication, be it supplies like fucking gurneys, the fucking uniforms for workers, mops, bucket, disinfectant, whatever, fucking X-ray machines and fucking syringes, whatever, things of that nature. That all got delineated down to a local level with different buying authorities for different parts of England, which is stupid. Bosh! If there's any fucking UK people who are in his chat, please fucking educate him. God damn it, don't make me go back into this fucking community. I can't be arsed talking to the wanker.
2022 to 2023, the Department of Health and Social Care spent $181.7 billion on health services, with the vast
England only. That's only England.
Majority, 94.6%, or $171.8 billion, going towards day-to-day items like staff salaries and medicines. That sounds good. That sounds good. The spending was $181 billion for an entire year to provide healthcare for the entire nation. Population of UK. Just do that math right there. 68 million. In the United States, 330. We'll just simplify the math a little bit and say that we have 4 times the population, even though that's not correct. 4 times the population, you'd expect us to spend 4 times as much. 4 times 181 billion is, what, like 720 billion? We spend way more than 720 billion. Annual health care spending USA. 4.9 trillion.
Oh, God,
so going by like some very rough numbers.
I thought it was 3.5 trillion. It's over 4 trillion. Holy fuck. This video is 6 months old, by the way, so mostly accurate for the US, essentially. Which is daft as fuck. And great swaths of Americans do not have health. Oh, sorry, Elron. Yes, Stacey, I'll be fine. Don't you worry about me. I'm always safe. I've got my super hubby. You look after yourself. Stay hydrated, not necessarily with alcohol. Self-care is good care. Take your meds. Look after your mum. Say hi to her for me. Stay based, and I'll catch you later. And if you watch Laura in the morning, post what it's like in the Discord. I'll be watching at 9 o'clock anyway. Fuck it. Need to see what Lammy's going to say, of course. And, of course, has some somewhat. I want to hear him. I can give or take it, Davey.
Here. It seems like the NHS is actually running at a pretty threadbare. Again, I know it's very simple.
Yes, the NHS needs more money. We're not going to get it from that little fucking monster. Or his boss. Or Keir Starmer. The NHS needs more funding. Please fucking listen to me.
Calculation here, but like it seems like they're doing all right, you know? Is he sure he isn't using pounds for the UK's cost? Unless a pound is suddenly like worth 4 times a dollar, I don't think those numbers are equalizing. Soon? Yeah, soon. There probably is a lot of unnecessary bureaucratic red tape. It's very low versus other countries with similar coverage. I need a Statistica account for unlimited access. No, I don't think I will. It's just been getting more and more expensive because of privatization. How do we track NHS spending non-NHS private expenditures? Like, 1 second.
You can't. To get an accurate read on that, you'd need to get those statistics from the private health providers that people go to here in the UK. Unless you're willing to go and ask them for that information, I doubt you're going to get an accurate number, Bosh. Yours might get published. Not that I would trust them either.
UK healthcare spending per GDP, not per GDP, per capita, over time. UK healthcare spending per capita has increased over time, with real terms expenditure rising significantly, presumably because of the privatization. Yeah, here we go. Look at that. It's been skyrocketing. And this is total healthcare expenditure, not government spending. So as they privatize...
No, total healthcare expenditure. That is both public and private. That gets published because part of the reason that the private healthcare exists here, they have to give the figures to the UK government. You can't separate both of them out because you would need to get accurate figures, accurate statistics from the private healthcare providers. And I'm not sure you will actually get accurate numbers from them. I'm sure the British government do, and I'm sure the Scottish government do as well. But to get accurate ones, you would need to get the fucking private healthcare companies to actually give you them. I'm sceptical, really.
More and more and more of the NHS. It's like, you know, yeah, you go into your doctor. They underfund the NHS, so everything takes forever. But then they like outsource you to a private specialist anyway. Man, I love capital. I love capitalism, man. It's great. It's going great. They're a perfectly functioning system. Well, not perfectly, but and now they're using it to justify privatizing it completely. Yep, it's the works.
People like me exist. We're fighting for our NHS. We want more funding. Fucking. Sorry, I get kind of irrational with this, as you can tell.
The same way every time in every country. It's the same goddamn system. Every time. Working as intended. This isn't privatization, though. It's bringing it under direct state control. What do you mean? They haven't been nationalizing more and more of the NHS. They've been privatizing more and more of the NHS since like the 80s, right? Well, I guess the process might have been going on for longer than that, but my understanding was that since Thatcher, they've been selling off larger and larger blocks of the NHS, essentially like saying like, oh, you know, we're going to like subcontract. We're going to, before, like if you needed a specialist, you would go to an NHS doctor, but now you have like a privately operated specialist that you go to. NHS England is a middleman organization, not a government agency. What the f are you talking about? We're talking about the privatization of the NHS. What are you talking about? NHS England middlemen. Bosh, NHS England is not that. Well, I'm sorry. Am
Oh, I'm not doing it. Fuck it. I have been going for over 3.5 hours. I think I'll read out. I'm doing quite well, actually. So I'll stick around in the red target that we'll go to. So let's go and say hi to Baby Game Shift. Because she is awesome. And she is playing Marvel Rivals. Where be you? Look for the kitty. Oh, there she's there.
And asked my mum what it meant. My white mum, she told me it was a bad word. We did in the
It is in the role of to send to someone who's gone. Oh, handle.
There's something about the way you look in my eye. Like a starry night, you light up my sky. You lean in closer and my heart starts to pound. I heard you sigh, you know I love that sound. He's bouncing off my booty cheeks, I love the way he rides. I can hardly breathe when he's pumping deep inside. I kiss him on his neck and then he kisses on my pussy. Call him daddy while I holler, man, that boy's so damn good looking. We made love and then
Come back, BGS.
every day we spend together, I fall more into him. That boy, he takes my breath away. I can't find the words to say, so I wrote this little note. Kiss it, seal it, so you know I've got some time. If you
Back and say hi to baby.
There are too many of them. What are we going to do?